Kevin Kyle's in the Montgomery suite today, doing the rounds of the suites.
Well, good afternoon, and thanks again to Sky. It's me rushing around like a blue arse fly for the early kickoff. Hope you're well. I've not long really been up. Good afternoon, Jerry. You alright, mate? Your cough's getting there, but I was still had periods through the night where I was just coughing my guts up, which makes us tired when I wake up. Devon Mackham, hello Devon Mackham, how are you? Richie Renwick, hello Richie, alright mate? This is how are the lads? You alright Devon, how you doodling? We've got the foghorn about to be starting. Yeah, the sun is shining apparently at the Stadium of Light. What could possibly go wrong, says Nick Barnes. Oh, Etienne, how are you doing, mate? Michael Taylor says hello from Brazil, Cabby. This is 3-0 win. I'll take that, like. Fernie, how you doing, Fernie? You alright? Afternoon, Stuart and all. A must win's a win today. Have you recovered from your celebrations on Tuesday night, on that Monday night? Tell you, the atmosphere looked electric at full time, like. Hello, Richard Stedman, you okay, mate? Devon Mackham says, Cabby, you still sound full of cold. It's just me throat, it's not sore. Just me windpipe's being strained a bit through coughing all the time. Alan Jane, hello Alan. Good day, Cab from Australia Gold Coast. We need to win this, get a roll on. We'll certainly do. Michael Taylor says 3-0. How you doing? Had a week off work. I really can't afford to have the week off works because of the fact I need the money, but I kind drive my taxi the way that I am. Like, it's just not good at all. And not just that as well, not for me, but I mean, I pick up a lot of vulnerable people in my taxi as well. A load of vulnerable people. Fernie says, yeah, it was great for us. Makes up for the messy mistake at your place. Yeah, I know. And a lot of Leeds fans have said that. Now we know what it's like. But look, we've been there many a times, and I'm sure you have as well. Where success is just snatched away from you at the minute, the last kick of the game, and it's heartbreaking, isn't it? Low for the clock. Yeah, well, I mean, I couldn't find a decent counter clock, a counter stop clock, whatever you call it. So I've got my Sunderland FC clock on the minute there, so we can know we're kicking off at 12:30. So hopefully that you can see that okay. Richard Stedman says unchanged team, no surprise at all. We might see Lefay in the middle if Mundell comes on. You all right, Africaner? Hope you're well. Yeah, I've not even had time to put the team news up. Like I say, I've just literally not long been up. Makamula, afternoon, Cabby and chat. Please don't put any score until Cabby has seen, as there is a time delay. You're welcome, Makamula. Well, I did have to ban 2 people the last home game because I repeatedly kept saying and asking them nicely, and they just totally ignored us, so I had to get rid. SJ, Rig and Roberts need dropping. Get Meander on the wing, Lefay in the middle, Mundell on the left, but no, let's flog them into the ground. Yeah, just remember, SJ, there's no putting the comments up if there's any goals or anything happening in the match. I had to ban 2 people last week, Mackham73 and Mandy. I had to kick off the channel because they kept putting the score up after repeatedly being said, don't do it. But welcome on anyway. Hello from Middle Atlantic Ocean on a ship, says Daisies. Well, how are you doing?
Playing from right to left, the first of a double bill this afternoon. We've got Solihull against Gateshead at 3 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock start, 2 o'clock kickoff for Newcastle United against Nottingham Forest. We're just waiting for the television director, who's standing alongside the 4th official at the side of the pitch, to give us the all.
Tony Hunting says, do you think Regis Labrie can make proactive positive subs? Because I don't. He needs to, Tony, doesn't he?
Against Cardiff, a very big game at the bottom of the Championship this afternoon as well.
I think Isaac will stay. I think he loves the club, Fernie, to be honest with you. I do think he'll stay, but who knows? Money talks, doesn't it?
Ball up over the halfway line. It's headed on by Louis Coyle, the Hull City right back, up through the middle.
The stadium light is just sun-kissed.
Well, there's a couple of heavy challenges. He's let them go. Play carries on through the middle here as Roberts comes out to the right wing, having won the ball in the centre, played it behind to Hume, and across now to Luke O'Nien, who plays a diagonal ball over the shoulder of the centre half, and he is battling for this. McLaughlin, in fact, he's playing at left back, Sean McLaughlin, rather than centre half, and manages to wrestle the ball off Patrick Robertson, clears for a throw to Sunderland down the right hand side. The back 4 for Hull is Louis Coyle, Alfie Jones, Charlie Hughes and Sean McLaughlin, who's 6'3" and is playing as a left back for Ruben Sellish. There's a chase for Josephs across to the
Hello, Cabby. Hello, Janet. You alright? Only 7:31 a.m. here. I hate the early games. I hate the early games, and it's like, well, it's not really early, is it? 12:30, but when you've got kids and you've got things to do at home, it's a pain in the backside. But we're never going to see a 3 o'clock kick-off hour just because of Sky. It's just the way it's going to be.
Comes back to Hume. Roberts now on the right.
Absolute headache it is.
Trying to weave his way through 3 or 4 Hull players and lays the ball off to O'Nien. Then down the left wing to Lefay. Halfway inside the Hull half, into the edge of the box to Joe, back to Lefay on the left, pulls it back, behind him is Rigg, and Rigg tried a shot on the turn, having to come back onto it behind the penalty spot, but it was blocked.
The Hull City shirts are glowing like beacons reflecting off the sun.
To try and get on the ball. 2 minutes played.
It's quite strange looking at it.
But a bright start by Sunderland.
Good start, and we've seen Lefay do that a couple of times where he gets to the ball.
Cobby's a bit quiet. Hold on a second, mate. Hold on.
Where you need your midfield players coming onto the ball.
Too far forwards, aren't they?
Yeah, coming onto it.
And actually,
hopefully that's a bit better
rather than run onto it. So a throw now for Hull City. Louis Coyle, from a Fleetwood defender, will take this back to Alfie Jones, and goalkeeper Ivo Pandor, the Croatian, who's in light blue.
So to give us a sound check, folks, if you can hear me and the commentary in the background, okay.
Wing, looking for, trying to get it through to Louis Barry, the loanee from Aston Villa. A ball played across field, nearly lost. Joe has slid in and won the ball back for Sunderland, but eventually it comes across to Trey Hume on the right-hand side, who pushed it
because I can't have the commentary playing outright, and I still need to look into this copyright. Carry on.
Now with Matazzo, the Colombian,
so just bear with me.
Midfielder. Sorry, not but
Maureen says, my late father said that don't be surprised when Sunderland lose, but be surprised when Sunderland win. How right he was.
Alfie Jones.
Absolutely, Maureen.
Down the right wing, trying to get, I think Gelhardt it was in the end, away on that right-hand side. Joe Gelhardt on loan from Leeds, had that spell here, of course.
I think it's COVID like that I've had. It's been going about.
Swept up towards Kyle Joseph. It's headed back by O'Nien, across to Hume in the middle, closed down by Louis Barry, back to Anthony Patterson, who's in black and grey goalkeeping kit this afternoon, not his usual green, as it's swept away on the left wing by Luke O'Nien into the centre circle, and eventually it comes back after pressure on Chris Rigg to Anthony Patterson. Patterson just rolls the ball to the edge of the penalty area to Dan Ballard. Ballard, Hull keeper.
Blenchy, how are you doing, Blenchy? How are you doing? Are you well?
Crooks now going to
Enzo Lafayette to score first, 3-1. All good here, says Alan. All good, says Devon.
Matt Crooks,
that's good to know.
The first half of this season was playing his football in America at Real Salt Lake, but signed by Hull, brought back to this country in January, played at Middlesbrough, of course. As Patterson walks the ball out here, and then plays it to Luke O'Nien to his left-hand side. We're in the 5th minute. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Dan Neil turns and twists away in the centre and gets the ball out to Ballard and wide to Hume. Hume trying to find Rigg. Sliding back in is Matazzo, who's very pleased with that tackle. Punching the air. And
Jack Carter says, hey up, mate. After Monday's disaster, we'll get a comfortable win today. We do need it, Jack, don't we?
Came off the Belgian's boot and went
First
behind.
set piece.
First set piece, yeah. At the road end, taken short by Roberts to Rigg, and then
been up all night with my daughter. She has norovirus, so I'm very tired, but okay. I know, Blenchy, hope she gets well soon, mate.
Again on the 18-yard line and played out now. Hull trying to get out through Louis Barry.
We've had a household unwell here. I don't know if it's been norovirus.
Nudged it back to Dan Neil, and down the left now to Job. And wide to O'Nien, who passes it back to Job on this left-hand side.
My husband used to be a London licensed taxi driver in London for 45 years. Now he's retired.
And out to Hume. Hume on this right-hand side gets it through, but straight to Matazzo.
Obviously, he's been a very happy taxi driver. Time to enjoy retirement, eh?
Centre circle, but cut out by Roberts. He tried to push the ball forwards.
Tony says, hi Cabby, are you contagious? Should be watching you with. Will we catch it? I've heard of computer viruses. I'd be careful.
Sunderland pushing forwards on that left-hand side now with Lafay. Lafay cuts into the middle with Job. Job's going to think about a shot and then decides to play a low ball into the penalty area after his initial 2 attempts, and he thought about, had players in front of him, but now Joseph's on the break for Hull City into the Sunderland half. Ballard's all over him.
Well done.
And he's managed to nudge the ball, or get it nudged back into the Hull City half. And you can sense there's a different atmosphere in the stadium this afternoon. There's a real buzz around the stadium of light. They're getting behind the team. It's been a bright, lively start. There have been no goals, but Sunderland very much on the front foot. The ball comes back here to Pandor, the 24-year-old Croatian, the goalkeeper. Closed down by Isidore. Played out to Charlie Hughes, who lobs over the halfway line, comes off Ballard, is out for a throw to Hull City. Big game for them.
Pass me tablet, I'll have a look for you.
Tuesday night they travel to Cardiff, who are not out of trouble themselves. As I mentioned earlier, they're playing Plymouth this afternoon. Some big games at the foot of the Championship over the next few days. The ball comes back here to Alfie Jones, into midfield to Alzate. I think this is only a couple of touches on the ball in the game so far. The Colombian, Stephen Alzate, signed from Brighton in the summer. Comes back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin then to Hughes in the middle of the Hull half, swings it wide over Gelhardt's head. He couldn't keep it
cheers
in.
for the team news Hull. I've not had time to put it up, as I've,
Halfway
like I said,
inside
just
their
been
own half
flinging
on the
about.
Left wing, at the foot of the east stand.
Try to get a lie in as much as I can, so I've hardly
Sirkin
slept
back to
again.
O'Nien, across to Ballard here. Closed down again by Matt Crooks. He lays it off to O'Nien to his left.
So Patterson, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien, Sirkin, Neil, Job, Rigg, Roberts, Lafayette.
Turn by Isidore. Isidore shakes off 1, 2, 3 players and finds Roberts on the right side of the penalty area. He pulls the ball back. They look like a handball, but the defender kept his arm down by his side. Even if it grazed it, they were never going to give a penalty. And Matazzo trying to get the ball out. Well, it looked like a foul to me by Lafay, but play goes on. Rigg trying to get the ball in the centre again to Job. Comes back now to O'Nien in the middle, who stabs it out to Sirkin on the left-hand side, trying to get round Louis Coyle, inside to Lafay. Lafay now, he's tackled. He's got 3 Hull players.
Is it on the side of there? No, has somebody not took it upstairs in your bedroom?
Back to his centre-back.
Well, it'll be in his bed, probably.
The left wing, Louis Barry, back inside the penalty area for it to be hooked away by Hughes to the halfway line. And that's nodded on there by O'Nien to Neil.
So Hielde, Meffen, Abdul, Samet, Brown, Alesic, Pavida, Mundler and Mayenda.
Sirkin on the left-hand side. Sirkin acting more like the left winger now, and Lafay inside in a more central position. And O'Nien and Job forwards on that left-hand side again to Sirkin. Sirkin looks to cross, going for the header's Rigg. It's cleared, only as far as Roberts is trying to battle here with, well, it's fouled in the end. Louis Barry.
Good ball in by Sirkin.
And it's a free kick to Hull. But they're certainly putting Hull's back four under pressure.
Good morning, Cabby. Hope for a win today. 2-0. How are the lads, says Luty. And Maureen says, very happy he met most of the royal families, including the late Queen, Diana Prince of Wales, and Charles. And Camilla is a lovely lady. Yeah, sounds fantastic. It really does. Afternoon, Fiona. You alright?
Kick to Hull then. Pandor takes it over the halfway line. Looking for Joseph. There's a bit of shirt tugging going on by Dan Neal, but it's allowed to pass by the referee, and it's broken for Lafay here up towards the halfway line. Sirkin on the break down the left. Sirkin gets the ball. Louis Coyle's in front of him. Lafay behind him. Job inside. Lafay just lays it off to Sirkin. Back to Job. Job now back into the centre circle, into the sunshine. Ballard has O'Nien to his left, but he's going to go wide to Patrick Roberts. And Roberts now skips round Louis Barry, slips it on here for Rigg, who plays a lovely ball. He shrugs off McLaughlin, finds Hume, pulls the ball back, edge of the area. Joe didn't realise there's a player behind him. Gelhardt whipped round the back of him and got the ball off him as he was about to shoot. And now it's Hull on the counter-attack with Louis Barry over the halfway line, still going.
Full of cold, but apart from that, all good.
Space for Joseph, he's played it back in. Sorry, Crooks to Joseph. But probably the wrong option. He should have probably taken the shot himself when he was in space.
We got away with it from us nearly getting a shot away. nearly conceded, Nick. It was
Yeah.
wide
Cheers,
open
Tom
there.
Garbett. Welcome along,
Left
mate.
themselves
Don't forget,
very
anybody hit the
backdoor
thumbs
wide
up.
open.
And
I think Matt
if
Crooks
you're
will
brand
just
new to
be
the
kicking
channel, hit
himself
that
then. He should have
subscribe button.
shot,
Thank
really.
you very much.
Tried to roll it into the path of Kyle Joseph, but it went out for a goal kick. 0-0.
Wide open touch and finish.
Now up to Ballard. Comes back to Louis Barry on this left-hand side.
Plenty, there's
Corner of the
loads of
penalty
bugs
area down
going
the left of
about,
the
mate,
box.
honestly.
Slipped it into the penalty area, cleared by Sirkin for a throw. On the left to Hull.
It's a warning.
Shaky at the moment.
Yeah.
Waiting for this throw on the left, which Sean McLaughlin's going to take. Republic of Ireland defender.
We'll cut open a bit there, Sunderland. Good air, Keith Lupton. Hope you're well, mate.
Maybe that's passed him by at 28. It's going to take another throw. He's been with Hull for 6 years
Billy
now.
Fly, hello Billy. He says,
Sean
got me up
McLaughlin.
early this morning. I know it's a pain, innit?
Behind him is
Derek
Alzate.
Rigby, good ace. He's from Southport. I think a
now
lot
on
of
the
people will
left
still be
wing
in
for
bed.
Hull City
Afternoon,
in their
cabin,
ball.
everyone. Hello,
Amber
Trisha.
Kit.
Hope we get a win
Hughes
today.
whips it across the face of Isidore. Now with Jones
Yeah.
looking to
Desperately need
sweep it
something,
up
don't
into
we?
the Sunderland penalty area. Hume heads it out into midfield. Rigg puts it in the air. There's a battle with Alzate to try and win this. Rigg clutches his head.
4:40 AM,
His
Doug says I'm
knees.
not
The
fully
referee
aware.
jogs across to see
It's a headache, innit? It's what Sky do,
Play
like.
has continued, and Rigg is just getting himself to his feet. I'll give Farrell Hallam his due. He's really trying to let this game flow.
I was going to say to you.
Sunderland defence, wake up,
you
man. I
what
know,
type of
John.
referee is in the first 10 minutes, isn't
Yeah,
he? He's going to let
just
things
everything
flow.
go. He's letting it go, and he's just keeping an eye on stuff. But the game is moving. As a consequence, it's been a better game for it, I think.
Janet says, Doug B, well done to you, a true fan. Durham Diver, my prediction, Sunderland take the lead, then sit back and let Hull equalise in the 82nd minute. Then Sam Ash comes on as a sub and Sunderland lose 2-1. As a few Sunderland fans think that, because just the way we've been going, isn't it?
Behind Barry, but he's worked hard to get onto it, Barry.
Careful.
Inside to Matazzo. Matazzo into the centre. Alzate back to the centre circle.
Fernie, I think definitely for you lot to beat Sheffield United. You're at Bramall Lane, it'll be a tricky game that, like, but I think you'll beat them.
Pressure from Sunderland. They're having their
Julian,
spell
my
now.
Sky International
Crooks
service is not working, so
to
hi, Cab.
Alzate.
Well, hello, Julian. Welcome.
To Jones, Alfie Jones, former Southampton defender. Here he is again, forwards to Alzate, and he lays it off on the wing. Coyle back to Jones, and now Hughes on halfway on the centre circle, whipping it out to the left.
Hull are
wing.
just
Louis Barry
enjoying
takes
a
it on
spell
his
of
chest,
possession
can't
at the
get round
minute.
Trey Hume, who nudges it onto Roberts, back to Hume, and now up to Rigg. Rigg
Don't get
back
caught.
to Hume. There's too many
SJ,
holes around
as
him.
if any team
Matazzo's
can
got the
attack
ball
all
here
game
now
and not
for
concede
Hull
possession. Of
City.
course they're going to
Slipping it
have
into the
chances.
centre.
Our defence
Crooks lays
needs
it
to be
off.
strong.
Picked up by Alzate. Now into
Brian says, should have
Crooks
played
again.
Lafay
Crooks back to
and
Alzate.
Isidore in the middle with
And then
Mundle on the
to
left and same one. Tactics, we should be
McLaughlin
going all out
through to
attack. He
Crooks
just
trying to
won't
find
change,
Joseph.
Brian, will he?
Back here for Gelhardt to strike with a left foot volley straight at Anthony Patterson.
Good play by Hull. They're starting to grow with confidence, aren't they?
Yeah, their first shot on target, 15th minute. Gelhardt, who took that shot.
That's
If
the
we beat
first
them, says Fernie, hopefully the
It
wheels
is,
will come
yeah.
off and give you
Even
a
though
chance
we're saying
catching them.
Sunderland have started, but we haven't had a shot on target.
Fernie.
Jackson's the one who's had to make a save.
It's a long ask, not for you to beat Sheffield United, but whether Sunderland, Fernie, are capable of putting 5 or 6 wins together on the bounce. We're just not seen to be capable of doing that at the minute.
Sunderland pushing out here with Luke O'Nien, and he plays it across to Ballard. Ballard
Won't catch
lifting
Sheffield,
it
we're
down
too
the
many
right
points
wing, looking for the
behind,
run
says
of
SJ.
Chris Rigg. McLaughlin's gone, well, Hughes has gone with him and puts the ball behind, and it's a corner to Sunderland. Their second corner of the match, from the right-hand side here again at the Roker end. So Roberts, Lafay has come across as well. He's standing at the corner of the penalty area. Roberts is going to... Is he going to whip this in, or is he going to play it back to Lafay? He's going to curl this in with his
13
lower,
games
Pandor
left SJ.
punches it
Would
in
love
the
you
air,
to go up with us in the
and,
auto. Be class that,
Ballard
wouldn't it,
gets his head on
Fernie?
it, but across
Celebrations
to
would be
Matazzo, who
mad.
clears, and Job has to
We will see.
sprint out to the touchline and hold off Matazzo for a throw to Sunderland. So 0-0. And Lefay plays it back. Eventually to Ballard and out wide on the right.
Hello, Carl. How are you doing, mate?
Roberts slips it up to Isidore, but it's tapped out and it comes to Alzate. And now Hughes is pushed over a very theatrical dive. And
from sunny Chester Street
was sucked in by that. He bought it and he's waved for a free kick.
You get 9.5 for that, wouldn't he?
Very good, yes. He would do. That was
absolutely, Janet. It's a
clearly,
funny old game.
Isidore,
The only thing
feel
missing
a
was
little
water.
bit, miffed by that. Pandor's going to take the free kick for Hull, wide on this left-hand side. Big kick up over the halfway line, headed on by Job. Isidore nodding it into the centre circle.
But SG have been saying that for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Big kick forwards.
We can't put a run of wins together. A decent amount of run of wins.
He's put the ball out behind for a corner to Hull.
Corner.
So Joseph did his job, really, didn't he? There.
Well, again, you're just thinking, could Luke have dealt with that a lot better than he did? He's trying to be clever in that back header. It's gone out for a corner kick. You've got to deal with
goal
it.
Line.
Yeah.
But clearly over the line. Corner then from the right-hand side at the north end of the stadium for Hull. Whipped in with the left foot, and it's it's in.
It's a goal.
It's almost, was that straight in?
Yeah, no, it's come off the header.
Has it come off the header?
Patterson, and who's on the front?
It's Hughes who's going to claim it. Charlie Hughes, whipped in from the left corner, and Hull have taken the lead in the 18th minute.
Unbelievable, like
another set piece has found them wanting.
The goalkeeper and whoever was on the near post have got to deal with that ball, and they haven't done, and it's fallen to the Hull City player.
Unbelievable.
But we go back to, there was no need to give away a corner kick.
Fernie, I've had to kick you off the SG, I've had to kick you off the channel, mate. You're putting spoilers in, and I've told you.
Near post, and it can't even be in a own goal, was it? Watch it again here.
Here we go again.
It's through
unbelievable.
The hands of Patterson from Roberts, by the looks of it. This is going to go down as a Patrick Roberts own goal, I think.
It's gone through his hands.
Yeah.
I don't know what Patterson's
and it can almost claim
taken for his cereal at the minute.
The
his
goal
breakfast.
from the corner, but that clearly to me is a Patrick Roberts own goal.
Patterson, he's gone through his hands.
Patterson, every time Patterson's going up for the balls at the minute, he's flapping.
And so from that
corner, he went to catch the ball and it's gone straight through his hands.
You know, trying to be clever. You know, the ball's gone. You've got to deal with it. If you're going to backhead it back to the goalkeeper, you've got to make sure. He's gone out for a set piece, and we've paid the consequences.
And now trying to counter-attack here, Lefay hooked into the penalty area by the right foot, ankle almost of Isidore, but Hull get the ball clear.
So sorry, SG, I had to boot you from the channel.
And
keep putting spoilers in.
Been given as a Patterson own goal, but I don't think he touched it. It went through his hands.
I think he's come off.
I keep telling people as well.
And through his hands, he didn't touch it.
Didn't put spoilers or anything.
Do you think he did touch it?
I think he touched it.
Yeah.
You should have called it.
If you can't follow the simple instructions of just not putting spoilers in, then I'm going to just have to kick you off. Sorry.
So 1-0 then.
Oh dear me, that's crazy, isn't it?
Hull City.
They've got something to hold on to now.
Carl says SAFC aren't as strong as we make it out. We have struggled without Mundle for a long time. Get him on.
Back in the game after
he won't fetch him on, Carl. He probably won't even bring him on as a player today. He's out of his depth, mate, says Nick. O'Neill screws up again. Have been saying it for months. Flappy keeper says K. What was that, says Mackham. Our defence is as weak as so yeah. Devon says BBC have credited Pato for it.
City won.
He just went to catch the ball and it went straight through his hands.
Hull playing out from the back here. Hughes across to Jones. Long ball again up towards Gelhardt on the right.
Patterman, atmosphere is crap. How many points has he cost us? Oh, 9.
And now to Ballard, just pushed out to the edge of the penalty area. O'Neill. Everton 1, Manchester United 0 in the lunchtime Premier League kickoff.
For God's sake.
Here on the left wing.
It doesn't even fill you with much confidence, does it?
Back heel through for Louis Barry to try and get round Ballard, but he kept.
I mean, I was going to read the commentary out, the comments from the Garden on that Hull City goal, and the majority of people, if not everybody, are just saying, Pato, what are you doing? Tricia says, don't apologise for banning people, they've been warned numerous times. Well, it's right, Tricia, if you can't, you're welcome on this channel as long as you like. But if you can't follow instructions by putting hints that other teams have scored or whatever's going on, then go and do it on another channel.
The penalty area.
We need to get the storekeeper, says Stephen. How many points has cost us 09? I know. Jack, we predict the 3-1 win with a Joffrey goal for Hull, but looks like as a no goal for Patterson.
Seen Sunderland get back into games. The kick.
Simon says, can't see why Patterson didn't call it. Roberts did not need to jump. There were no Hull players around pressuring.
Job, who hooks it into Roberts in the centre circle. Now Alzate trying to head it on for Hull. They battle to win it. Louis Barry on the left-hand side. Crooks on the overlap. Barry cuts inside into the middle of the Sunderland half. Matazzo is behind him.
Don't forget though, I'm in Hull City. Thanks for the subscriber, by the way.
Ball in. Joseph gets his foot wrapped round it. He's claiming the corner and he's won it. Came off 09.
Oh dear, says Trevor. Patterson's been out on the ale and the pies.
And you look at the two.
Be honest, guys, out of the 2 games we've played you, I would say you're the best team we've come up against this season. Cheers, Fernie. A lot of few fans have said that as well, haven't
again, we'll take the corner.
Up the Tigers, says Ospews. Hello, Jill. Good luck for today. Thanks, Jilly. I hope you're well, pet. I don't think you guys are playing today, are you? Are you playing today, Jilly? Jill?
Hull players in the 6-yard box. One position right on him here. It's curled in again. Patterson has to try and claw it onto the bar and it's hooked away. But it's worked twice for Gelhardt. He's got it right down the throat of Sunderland. They got it away this time. Barry puts it back in. Patterson catches it. Now you see they've got the issue of the sun in his eyes. Well, they don't wear a cap.
I was going to say that he needs a cap.
You're fine, Opsus. I didn't mind Hull City fans welcome, as long as you're not rude and
wear a cap because it's not fashionable.
What not?
Any sort of
because it's not fashionable.
Headwear, yeah.
That's why.
Neil trying to come out, tackle, but the ball rolls back to Sirkin. Now inside to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien bringing this into the centre circle. Rolled out to Ballard. Substitutes warming up, thus the applause. You can hear away to the left of us. It's Patterson, brings the ball out from the D and leaves it for O'Nien. Hull leading through that 18th minute. Patterson.
Oh, dear. Almost 2 from another corner. Oh, you're playing tomorrow, Jilly?
To Joe, back to O'Nien. That's one back, is it? By Matazzo.
Oh, dear.
And he's out on the right touchline, slips it forwards, gets it back. In his own half still, he's trying to swing it across here to Louis Barry. Headed away, cleared by Hull.
He's got some energy.
He's busy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Elliot Matazzo, 23-year-old, signed from Monaco in January. Had a loan spell at Royal Antwerp. In between times is Neil. O'Nien just to his left-hand side. Up to the halfway line.
Patterson looking dodgy today. He's been dodgy for a while.
Amber shirts in front. Hull have possession back. Back with Coyle. He gives the ball away now to O'Nien wide on the left touchline.
Sorry, but Regis is going to have to text him and stick why he's not putting Mundle on. I do not know.
Picks out Chris Rigg in the middle of the Hull half. He plays it to his right hand side to Hume and now to Roberts. Slip back into Hume. Hume looks up, crosses, but it's Coyle who clears it in the penalty area. Out to Crooks, who's battling with O'Nien, and O'Nien wins the free kick. On the left-hand side of central midfield.
And I think that's where we've got to gamble a little bit. You know, our midfield players, either Joe Bellingham or a Chris Rigg or even a...
We'll make the playoffs, Simon. I don't think we'll do anything in the playoffs the way we've been going on.
Hull have a line of defenders on the 18-yard line. Louis Barry standing 10 yards on his own from Roberts and Lefay, who are the pair over the free kick.
Dreadful, can't defend set pieces. Why Meffam and Ballard aren't paired?
Ball, hasn't he, with his 2 corners? Can Sunderland do likewise with this free kick? They trail 1-0. Roberts will take it, curls it in with his
Great
left.
ball.
It's headed in, but the
Offside.
O'Nien dips, got his head on the end of it, but the flag came straight up, and the goal doesn't count.
Offside.
It was a good free kick.
Excuse me.
Unfortunately, seeing the replay here, and at the moment there were 4 Sunderland players actually offside. And now Pandor is sat clutching his left ankle.
Man, you were
Players
awful, like, aren't
to
they?
their respective technical areas as Pandor gets some treatment. We're in the 27th minute. Hull leading 1-0. That Patterson own goal.
The thing is,
Man.
I think is Patterson getting a little bit of a reputation now in regards of cannot deal with crosses coming into the box when he's being put under pressure.
A lot of talk recently that he's not having his best of seasons at the moment, isn't he? He's sort of kicking and
he's not commanding his box, is he?
No.
You know, you look back at the Leeds game and the two goals which were conceded from set plays, and then you look at the goal today. Look, you see it again there now, and you're thinking,
Showing you the goal again.
Command. Even if Roberts
He's
is
standing on his line nearly.
you've got to clear him out.
Yeah, it's. I do wonder. I mean,
it's not as though Roberts is somebody who's 6'2".
No, it's not. I mean,
I mean,
which
why
is
isn't
interesting as to why
Patterson
he's
shouting
near
there
post,
towards
defending
Roberts?
the
It's
near post.
Pattos, I'm coming for it.
But Pandor's back up on his feet now. Players.
Awful that,
Goal
like.
to concede, innit?
It was a very soft goal to concede. And they nearly conceded with the second corner as well. Patterson having to turn the ball onto the crossbar. About to resume here.
Thing is, though, Labrie won't change anything until like the 79th minute or something when we're 2-0 down.
Spot in the shade at the Roker end. Patterson has the sun in his face here, squinting as the ball comes up through the centre. Bounces up to Dennis Sirkin, heading it on now straight.
Fernie says
to
60
Joe
minutes
Gelhardt,
left. We'll be
who's,
fine.
Whipped away down the right-hand side, out towards the corner flag on the.
I really
right,
hope so.
Plays it back to Coyle. Coyle now whips in a left foot cross. It's headed away by Dan Neil, headed back by Jones, headed away again by Sirkin, up towards the halfway line, and there's Alfie Jones to turn it out to Coyle, forwards to Gelhardt. He's got Sirkin on his back, comes back to Zate, and then eventually back into Hughes, and Hughes back to the goalkeeper Pandor, and he's being closed down by Chris Rigg, but he gets the kick up into the centre circle. Joseph can't get round O'Nien. It comes to Dennis Sirkin, who plays it to his right to Dan Ballard. Ballard in the shade on this near side, the west side of the pitch. Hume forwards to Roberts. He let it run through to Rigg, and now Rigg is trying to get it onto Roberts as a chase, but Matazzo gets back first. He gets the ball, slips it inside now to McLaughlin, who's trying to push it through Dan Neil's legs. Joseph gets on the end of it and finds Alzate behind him. Forwards again to Matazzo, and now again to McLaughlin, and he plays it back to Hughes.
He's everywhere, Matazzo.
He is busy.
Isn't he?
Yep. It's hard to keep track of him. He's on the left at the minute, but he can pop up anywhere. Here's Joseph, a ball over the top. Patterson comes out and grabs it. Joseph crashes into him and has hurt himself as a consequence. He's doubled up, is crouched at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area, Joseph, so he followed through on that. He's now got himself back up. He's winded himself. And the ball is with Dan Neil. He drove it straight at Louis Barry, calls for handball.
Richard says Patterson needs dropped. I'm not bothered.
He's gone down again.
He's the best we have. He's been
In the
awful,
centre
not today,
circle,
but a few
doubled up in
games now.
pain.
Embarrassing, man.
The referee's come back to see what the issue is with him and leaves him. Joseph gets himself up. A free kick taken by Rigg, back to Ballard on halfway, across to O'Nien. 31st minute, and just sort of the full blow of Patterson's shoulder in his chest as the ball rolls behind for a Sunderland goal kick from Dennis Sirkin. Someone's lost a boot here.
Yeah. It's interesting the way Hull set up. They play like a 4-4-2. You know, they've got two players up top.
Yeah, Joseph and Crooks are up front. And now there's howls of protest because Louis Coyle has lost his boot. He's moved himself back on the pitch from an off-pitch situation to put the boot back on,
Nick,
which has riled everybody up.
the problem, Nick, they're 1-0 up.
Yes.
They're going to do everything to
You
take
can
this
hear
thing. And you can hear this, the
crowd's
supporters.
reaction to Coyle, who's just sat calmly, tying up his bootlace, gets up now. And it's a goal kick, which Hughes taps on the corner of the 6-yard line to the goalkeeper to kick upfield onto the head of Sirkin. And it bounces in front of Lefay and goes out for a throw to Hull, who, as Benno says, lead 1-0.
God, this is crap, this, like. This is really
it's
bad.
frustrating for Sunderland because all that early momentum they had and is lost, really. Hull have dominated possession since scoring.
We do, Jack.
Hughes gets it out to McLaughlin, and then on down this left-hand side to Barry, and he gives the ball away to Roberts, who's lost it, and they're trying to win it back. It's a free-for-all. Barry wins it in the end, trying to get it to Joseph. Ballard stabs a foot in, breaks for Roberts on the right wing. There's a run from Rigg. Roberts is cutting inside.
Oh no!
And he sold it a bit short to Neil, but Neil does run onto it, and then to Lefay. The overlap from Sirkin. Lefay comes back to Jobe in midfield. Jobe then to the left again to Lefay, and Lefay back to Jobe, closed down by Crooks. He finds Neil. Neil now looking for Hume. Hume, will he get to it? No, it goes behind the goal line. It's a goal kick.
Unlucky.
To Hull, but it was a good passage of play from Sunderland. They're just going to keep that going. Pandor, he comes to slow it down again, drops the ball at the left corner of the 6-yard box. Charlie Hughes picks it up, pops it back down again, plays it to the goalkeeper, who kicks long again up over the halfway line. And back comes Sirkin. Crooks has gone with him. Sirkin turns. He gets it forwards to Lefay. Lefay now at the edge of the centre circle, just squares the ball short to Neil. Neil onto Rigg. It's a player behind him. It comes back to Neil. Rigg is on the floor, picks himself up. Hume back to Ballard, across to O'Nien. O'Nien then to Sirkin on that left-hand side. Sirkin wide to Lefay, trying to get it onto Jobe, but it comes back to Jones. Jones onto Gelhardt. He's tackled. Loose ball falls for Matazzo, though. Behind him, Alzate, a little back heel to Jones, and then across to Coyle inside now to Crooks. Little tap inside. It's played by Gelhardt through the middle, looking for Joseph, but back came Ballard to push the ball back to Patterson to clear up over the halfway line. Nodded forwards and then swept by Gelhardt up to Patterson, because Joseph running back from an offside position. Bowled out to Sirkin on the far side. 35th minute. Sunderland 0, Hull City 1. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle at 3 o'clock. We've got full commentary of Solihull against Gateshead as the ball comes down the right wing to Hugh. Gives the ball straight to Matazzo. Comes off in the end for a throw to Sunderland. And Roberts looking for a ball. Finally, one is found, and he will leave it for Hume in front of Ruben Selles, the 41-year-old Spanish head coach of Hull City, appointed on December the 6th. Now Ballard. Matazzo goes to close him down. Out to Hume on the right. Forwards here to Rigg. Rigg can't keep it in. Just let it run off his foot. Looks a bit disconsolate, actually, Chris Rigg. Throw to Hull City, just in front of their coach. McLaughlin with it. Back to Hughes. Hughes back to the goalkeeper. And Pandor, closed down by Isidore, passes it out to Alzate, across then to Jones. Jones bringing this out for Hull, plays it into Matazzo in the centre circle, just lays it off.
Blench is actually alright. He doesn't come in here, to give grief. So Blench is actually cool, people.
Trying to take it into the penalty area, but he pushes Hume down. Hume got in front of him, and it's a free kick to Sunderland.
But you've got to say, you know, at times the system they're playing, it works.
Do you know, I feel as if I can go upstairs, get a shower, get freshened up, and come back down and not miss out.
Career at Sutton United, went to West Bromwich Albion. He's on the floor at the moment, picks himself up. Then he went to Barcelona for a season before coming back and signing for Aston Villa. He's a big West Brom fan, apparently, is Roberts in the Hull penalty area. Too many orange amber shirts around him. He can't get the ball through, and it's out here on the left wing.
I mean, what have we done this first half, like?
To McLaughlin, who puts the ball out because Barry is still sitting.
God's sake.
Seemingly injured up the other end of the pitch. Just his hand on his left knee. But again, you're tempted to feel this is a tactic from Hull, leading 1-0. And to just slow things down again. It's only going to get added on at the end. They're only going to add time on at the end of the first half for all this. So 37th minute. Louis Barry still receiving.
We have been embarrassing first half. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Had loans from Aston Villa at Ipswich.
But Hull City, they're just going to go down. They're going to get injured and injured and injured and injured. They're going to play act. And why won't they? They want to try and hang on to this 1-goal lead. If not, try and get a second. They're in no rush, are they?
Sunderland 3 players. There's a triangle. Sirkin, Lefay and Isidore standing in the Hull half in the middle, having a conversation. Everton 2, Manchester United 0, was that?
Yes.
Just a good job from you lot, Ospies.
And they're playing basically 2 up front. You know, Crooks is just playing
brave and they've scored, they're leading.
Problem. Yeah.
Barry's up on his feet, it's just coming off here now. More players that have come down to the touchline, drifting back out. Barry will receive more treatment. In fact, he's jogging up and down the touchline, having a chat with one of the other Hull substitutes. Throw from Hume back out behind for a goal kick to Hull City. Barry, I think, looks fine. He's waiting to come back on.
It's their cup final, Stuart Fernie. Every single team that comes up here is the same. That's the trouble. It's a cup final for them.
Right side of his 6-yard box now to take the goal kick.
There has to be changes at half time, yeah.
As well, around halfway. Although Barry's struggling, actually, he's being supported by 2 staff down the touchline.
For us, we're going to hold on to this 1-goal lead for now, but try to extend second half, says Ospius. Carl says, what we expect when we just got relegated from the French League last season. Return says, if we fail this year, we have to let a golden opportunity slip, haven't we? Really hope we don't.
A knee injury, which is going to mean he's replaced.
Stephen Martin says, I said to my work colleague that we would get beaten today, first home defeat. Thing is though, Stephen, why are we saying that?
Cardiff leading at Plymouth, goalless at Derby and Millwall. The ball comes back to Pandore, closed down by Isidore.
I mean, what's Isidore done today? What's Lefay? What's Job done?
Louis Barry doesn't look in a particularly good way as he helped down the tunnel down below us, as Hume plays this on to Roberts. Back to Hume on the halfway line on the right. It's stabbed away from him by Joseph.
Don't foul.
Hume fouls him. He's rolling about, clutching his left shin.
Thing is though, John, Labrie won't change it until the 86th minute when we're going 2-0 down.
That's the situation with Matazzo.
That's what's frustrating me.
On his back in the centre circle, I think.
Fernie says, can't knock Regis, he's done a great job for you. Oh yeah, of course he's done a fantastic job. Absolutely, has he?
Lincoln, 26-year-old on loan from Fenerbahce. It's his first appearance.
Because it's Sunderland, mate, Stephen.
So the Brazilian Lincoln on now in his dreadlocks dyed blonde and tied in a ponytail. It's quite a striking character.
He is.
5 minutes till half time. There'll be quite a bit of time thing added on at the end of this first half. There's a shot driven in from the a good 25 yards out on the right by Hull, and it's blocked and cleared, and now it's have to be dealt with by Job. Back to an off. Well, what's happened there? The flags come up offside in that move, which eventually Job broke up as the ball played over the top. Isidore
nobody there,
chases this
somebody's
to
gotta
the
get
goal
with him.
line, and all he can do is play it high in the air into the Roker end. As you say, there was nobody up with him, he couldn't turn it back.
He couldn't do anything.
Frustration for Isidore. Goal kick for Hull. They lead 1-0. We played 41 minutes, but there'll be a good few minutes added on for a couple of stoppages. And Pandor places the ball right again of the 6-yard box. The players in the sunshine on the right side. And there's a big kick up over the halfway line, flicked on, or attempted to be flicked on by Joe Gelhardt.
Well, this has to be one of the dullest first halves this season.
And
there's been a few.
For a throw to Hull City.
He's trying to let the game flow. We need the referee.
Yes, I think I respect him in that respect. He's right from the start. He laid his cards on the table, didn't he? There was lots of, I think, questionable tackles. Other games would have been called, but he didn't. He let the game flow, and it was better for that. Here now is Lincoln back to Hughes, and Hughes closed down by Rigg. Floats a high ball long deep into the Sunderland half. Gelhardt brings it down in front of Sirkin, who's trying to stick with him. Brings it back now to Alzate. And Alzate.
Where's our spark gone, like?
Up towards the corner of the penalty area to Coyle. Crooks is whipped off him by Lefay, out for a throw to Hull on the far side. Hull have definitely frustrated Sunderland since scoring. Now, the throw, they've got a player down on the goal line. It's Crooks. He holds it, plays it back behind him to Coyle to cross. In goes. In fact, it wasn't Crooks. It was whipped in for Crooks, and in the end, Job has put it out. And it's another throw for Hull. Coyle will take it. Drops to Gelhardt and comes through to the edge of the area.
Who would I bring on?
Headed away by Ballard.
I'd definitely get Mundle on.
Hull, Alzate, and it comes out then.
Move Lefebvre into the middle of the pitch.
To hook back over his head and out for a throw to Hull on the far side. 44th minute.
I just think we just maybe have to try to change things, Nick.
I mean, don't forget, Hull have only scored literally today. They've played well, mind, but it's a massive error from Pato.
Hughes at the back again.
So apart from that, neither team really have created anything.
Isidore and Rigg. Isidore makes a
Colin Major, why do I carry on with this club? I know.
Over the halfway
don't we all
line.
say that?
Ballard gets his head on it. It'll go to the right. Roberts running onto it, but has to work to get it back to Hume. But he's pushed, and he wins a free kick.
This is what happens easy when we're getting kids. You see.
Free kick wide on the right wing.
Get kids, you get gassed out.
BBC Radio Newcastle.
Ospoo says it probably won't if we continue playing like this.
City 1. Hume, Ballard, across to O'Nien. O'Nien now dribbling up. Joseph goes to close him down, onto Job on the halfway line. Out to Sirkin on the touchline. Comes back for O'Nien, wide left and into the middle to Ballard, who runs onto this, pushing it forwards up towards the halfway line. Over halfway and taps it to Roberts.
It's almost like
though by Crooks, pushed over by
the body language is sort of saying.
Play goes on really. Neil's just played it
on
to Luke O'Nien, who runs into the whole half.
Kind of the way the flip walking about.
45. The fourth official is Lewis Smith. We're waiting to see how much he's going to show. Will be added on.
We need to retain possession a lot better. We definitely do, Richard.
The ball to Rigg.
We're just launching balls, aren't we?
Or Lefay. And Lefay down the left to Sirkin to cross, looking for Roberts, headed behind by McLaughlin. And we will have 6 minutes of added time.
I just think that we need more men in the box, Nick. You know, at times there's only Isidore in the box. Then we only had Isidore and Roberts at the far post.
We can't continue just one up front like this.
Like arrive in the box.
Roberts then from the right-hand side. Lefay at the corner of the penalty area on the right. Whipped in by Roberts. Oh, someone threw themselves at it. He's caught in the net. Ballard, he has to get out now. It's put back in by Lefay. Comes back out again. Lincoln nods it down to Rigg. It comes in the air to Lefay, trying to get it out to Roberts on the right. And there's a battle and a free kick for a foul on Roberts by Joe Gelhardt.
And that's the difference, you know, between the two. at the present moment. The yellow card.
Yeah, for Gelhardt.
You know, similar incident. Their first set piece. Scramble on the near post, ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah, what happens with Sunderland? The player ends up in the back of the net.
No.
Ballard tried to throw himself at it, but just got himself tangled in the side netting. Made the run, just couldn't get his head on the end of it. Free kick now on the right-hand side, then, which Lefay is going to take. Roberts just down 10 yards from him. Lincoln standing at the corner of the penalty area. Roberts jogs back alongside Lefay, but I think clearly the Frenchman's going to take the free kick. Rigg just outside the D. Roberts peels away. Lefay curls us in with his right foot, and it's flicked down into the path of Job. Can't dig it out. Joseph tries to, Sirkin lays it off to Rigg. Rigg looking for Ballard. His header caught by the keeper on the goal line.
First bit of excitement this first half.
Either side of Pandore had at least made him really work for it, but it was headed straight at Pandore after Rigg chipped the ball back into Ballard on the 6-yard line. Is that the first save that Pandore's had to make, technically, from Sunderland? It's back up the other end.
I think we'll see a different Sunderland second half, mind.
Sirkin lays it off to Lefay. And the referee doesn't give a free to Sunderland Fury. As Hull moving on forwards again, but they give the ball away to Neil, who gets it back from Lefay. Man on, shout the crowd, and Benno. And here in the middle is Rigg. Rigg on halfway on the right hand side. We're in the 48th minute of the 6 being added on, nearly up to 3 of them. As Sirkin, Lefay wide on the left, closed down by Coyle. He plays the ball back into O'Nien. Now Ballard out wide to Roberts, and Roberts going to come past Lincoln. He's dribbling at the Brazilian on his left. He clips the ball into the box. He's headed backwards into the 6-yard box. Now Isidore feels he was impeded by Coyle. Rigg or Lefay has the ball now with Sirkin, who plays it in towards Hume. Well defended, headed out again by Matazzo. And then Sirkin looking for the corner, wins it. As he put his foot through it. The 4th Sunderland corner. This time on the left at the Roker end.
A lot of the Sunderland fans have already left for their half-time bovrils.
I think Isidore just got his feet caught up in Coyle's feet. He didn't trip him up as such, he tripped himself up.
You've got to say that whole.
It's going to be difficult, Benchy, to keep hold of Job. It's going to be difficult to keep hold of a few players. I think he'll go where his brother possibly is.
Outswinger, Ballard with the header again. It's going to roll out.
Hello, Victor. How you doing, mate? I'm not too bad.
Couldn't keep it in. It's a goal kick to Hull. 4 minutes of the 6 played. Hull leading 1-0.
Jack says we overplayed too much with one up front. At least Miendo likes a run at defenders. Get Mundell on and Lefay in the centre.
Goal kick. Away from home, they've won 5 and drawn 2 of the 15.
Can't beat the Bovril, can you,
away
Ospreys?
games they've played. The players again across to the right. Pandore with the goal kick in the 50th minute, headed away.
Come on, lad, says Charles.
Joseph by Ballard. It comes back to O'Nien, who puts his foot through it up to the halfway line. Played all the way back by Coyle to the goalkeeper. Isidore goes to close him down and tried to intercept. The ball played out to Jones on the right, but Jones forwards now and back again to the goalkeeper. It's Romain Mundell's warming up, thus the applause. The kick from Pandore. 51st minute now, we're into the final minute of the 6 being added on. Hughes just puts his right foot through it, takes it out to the left wing. Hume has to come right across and pick the ball up for a throw for Sunderland. Back to Ballard. Ballard across to O'Nien. O'Nien bringing this long down the right wing for Roberts, and it's headed out by McLaughlin. We've read that ball floating through the air. Roberts wanting Sunderland move things quickly. Hume jogs down eventually to take the throw. Roberts slightly frustrated by that. And Roberts plays it back now to Ballard. 15 seconds or less left of the first half. O'Nien out to Sirkin on the far side. Sirkin, defender in front of him. He's got the overlap from O'Nien, but the ball's won off him by Crooks. We're in two. Well, that's it. That's the half-time whistle.
Well, boos from the Stadium of Light.
Are going to go in.
The midfield has been awful. Job is not his usual
minute.
game, and Riggy is struggling. We need to get Samed on second half and attack. Mundle for Rig at half time. Well, fair play to Hull City. They're doing the job, even though we've gifted them a goal. But they're making it really difficult for Sunderland. Don't forget, these beat Sheffield United 3-0 at Bramall Lane. They're no mugs.
Turned it onto the bar. Since that 18th minute goal, Hull have really run the game.
Well, you've got to say that slowly but surely they've played their way into the game, and we've seen that time and time again. They've grown with confidence.
Bring Samed on.
You know, the goal is a poor goal. First of all, Luke O'Nien should have done better. You know, if you're going to clear your lines, clear your lines. If you're going to head it back to the goalkeeper, make sure it gets to the goalkeeper. He goes out for a corner kick. Then you set yourselves up. Roberts is on the near post. Goalkeeper, the ball gets whipped into the near post. It's on Roberts' head. Now, some form of communication. Either he shouts, keepers, and he gets the ball. Obviously, I don't think there was a shout, because Roberts is gone. It's come off his head a little bit, but even then, it's gone through Patterson's hands and fallen for the whole City player who's put the ball in the back of the net.
It's scruffy, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll just turn the commentary off now because of the half-time musings. Well, I mean, let's have a look into social media and then see what's going on. Thoughts on the first half. Awful. SHIT, very poor. SHIT, go 4-4-2. What else has been saying? Why on earth are we continuing to play one up front? This game is crying out for Mundle to go on the left, the Fair into the middle. No real determination from the team. It's like we've almost sort of succumbed to like being in the playoffs, but we'll have to just see what the second half brings, doesn't it? Okay, I have to go, Cabby. My daughter needs me. Hope you turn it around. Thanks for popping in, Blenchy, and hope your daughter's alright, pal. Alright. Do you think we're still fatigued from Monday? It's looking like we are, mate. Something not right. There's something not clicking, Richard, is there? But some say they've had plenty of times to recover. I have football training. I hope the lads do well. Up the Tigers. Or if you're up, Auspius, cheers for popping in, mate. And enjoy the football training. Manure are losing 2-0 at half time. Yeah, they are. They're terrible, aren't they, Man U? Victor Thurwell, very poor. Will he change early second half? Later, Blenchy says Fernie. Butterhands Pato, says Jack. Paying for a poor transfer window from the club, says Richie. Roberts again give another away. Macamula says, don't think Pato ever shouts in a game. He never seen a keeper so quiet as him. John says crap. Telly says Roberts always involved in conceding goals. Tony says how Regis Labrie Dice the sub, wouldn't be surprised if Meffam came on. Lefay for Samed for Isidore. Why? Simon says, I don't think any players shout a couple of hours on the ball and close down quickly without a shout. Lefay been poor last 3 games. Ken Udell says, hi Cabby, every corner we get or defend, why do we always wrestle with the opponents and never look at where the ball is played? Why? Janet says, I had such confidence in Lefay, the team better come out like lightning. They simply have to, mate. Oh, dear. Someone else has put on social media as well. We look so demoralised today. Nowhere near our best. Regis has big work to do in the break. Come on, lads, turn this game around. Kyle says, why have we started with the same negative style of football that didn't work at Leeds? At home, we should be playing 2 up top, especially against the side struggling against relegation. The fair tight hamstring problem goes off at half time. If Mundle doesn't get on today, I'd be disappointed. Is that right? LeFay has gone off with a tight hamstring problem. I don't know if anybody's heard that or not. Macca and Pastor Alex says, hello all, can't believe we are losing again, unacceptable. Rig was quiet most of the game against Leeds. Saw Pato and Greg's last week ordering 11 stotties. Says Telly. Victor says, must go 2 up front straight away, surely. Pastor Alex says, but there's still another half of football left. We can play, we can win. And Pastor Alex also says, we must believe in this football team if we want to win, fellow Mackens. Never fall in love with a lone player, they say. More coming from Sunderland fans. Ian says there is nothing coming from our midfield 3 today. Alesic on for Rig. And a lot of somebody else has just says, Ian says, Mundle and move LeFay in the middle. Neil says players are completely not moving. We are really static. And says, and the less said about the defence and the keeper, the better. Hull wanted more. It's as simple as that. Neil said, as someone has said, replied to Neil, says Hull are playing for their lives. No doubt about it. But we are so far behind our best. We are making them look like world beaters. Rig looks absolutely knackered, says Niall. Needs to come off being like that past few games, and Roberts might as well be giving out the pints at half time. Mark says we had to freshen up the starting 11 after Monday night. Yet again, we think we just have to turn up at home. Michael says we'll look tired. But the thing is, though, every other team in this division also has to go through fatigue. It's the season lasts, 46 games. It's no good being burnt out with 12 games to go, because that's never going to get you promotion. Do you know what I mean? You're supposed to have athletes in your side. You've got to keep going until the last kick of the game of the season. Absolutely, it's not good enough if we're burnt out with 12 games to go. I'm sorry, but I just ain't. Use all 5 subs on 60, freshen up, says Alan. Stephen Lane says, at this rate, just forget about promotion, even in the playoffs. Stakes were very, very poor, so dejected anyway. Hi, Mac and Cabby Man, 24/7. Pray it changes second half. How far off target, man? I know. Stephen Brewer says Hull are quicker to get the ball forward in every position. Got to change formation. Too slow at the back. Need quicker players on. LeFay is wasted on the wing. Get Mundle and Mayenda on. Durham Driver says this is where our manager needs to do something. If no changes at half time, then it's Lebree's fault. Agree, says Janet. And don't forget, Hull can come out the second half and get a second. Now that would make it interesting, wouldn't it? Mundle on the left, drop Lafay inside Brown to come on later. Oh dear me. Well, as the cabbie clock says, it's just after 1:25. But I presume we won't come out a little bit later because we didn't finish the first half till 6 minutes afterwards. Rig needs a break, looks tired. Like I say, the season doesn't finish now. It's no good saying our players look knackered. You know what I mean? There's a long way still to go. You can't be having your squad being shot to bits and being tired. There's still promotion places still up for grabs. It's absolutely can't be saying our side's knackered. We've gone all out. It's not good enough. Richard, I would change. Rig needs to come off. I think he's looking absolutely shattered. Get Mundle on without a shadow of doubt. Get Lafay into the middle. Roberts, I think, needs to come off. Don't damage too much of the midfield, but I do think Rig's really struggling at the minute. One more yellow for Job. He misses 2 games. Mate, this match is painful to watch. I just cannot wait for it to be over. Do you know what I mean? It's that painful, and I shouldn't be saying that. Hull deserve the lead. Fair play, but a goal will change things. Pastor Alex says, if we don't go up this season, how do you rate our chances for next season? It's always difficult getting out of this league, Pastor, because of the parachute payment clubs coming down every season from the Championship, from the Premier League. It's always, I mean, Leicester are down, Southampton are down, but straight away you can think Leicester's just going to go and just boss this league next season, aren't they? This is what happens. It's 5:30 a.m. Too early for the drink. Why, of course it's not, Dougie. Fernie says, back in my day, Cabby, you only had one substitute, but understand times have changed. They are athletes now. It's right, Fernie. You know, if your squad's strong enough, you shouldn't be having a knackered squad. With all these games still left. There's still like 12 games to go or something. You can't be saying teams that, our team's knackered. That's the problem. It just can't be done. Forget promotion, says John. Doug says, too early for a drink. I've already read that. Telly says, be harder next season to go up. This is our chance. Richie Renwick says, football players are athletes and it's a serious issues if they're fatigued. Either fitness isn't where it should be or being overtrained. Norm Ski says, I'm watching you on TV and trying to read the comments on phone. Can't believe the delay. Just wondering if this is how the spoilers happen. Well, yeah, I mean, there's always delays. You're never going to get people in sync. But with spoilers, there's no excuse. The simple fact is, people can hear me saying, don't put the scores up on the chat until you hear it on here. Because there's a lot of people haven't got Sky and a lot of people don't know what the scores are. And it's such a simple thing to do. Didn't put the score on here until you hear it on here. Etienne says, depends on the drink. Orange juice is fine. William Andrews, hope we don't lose out on the playoffs with all the defeats that will come. Brian says he has to change it second half, push 2 up front and bring Mundle and Mayenda. Topsy T says, Mundle, Brown on Rig and Bellingham off and put Lafay in his natural position. Tired of bottling it and being bullied at home against rubbish teams. Miss Mundle a lot, says Jack. Telly says fatigue, they need a week down the pit or shipyard. Mark says, Tony says Samed for Wilson. he in the right mindset Samed could trap a bag of cement. Totally useless. Rigg needs replacing. Mundle on for Rigg. Drop Lefay into the middle.
The West Stand.
Here we go.
Red and white stripes, black shorts, red and white socks, Hull in amber. The Tigers as referee.
Lefay is off.
Hallam.
It's been very quiet, hasn't he?
Dan Neil is waiting to kick off the second 45.
So we can't put Lefay into the middle.
Live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
I've heard
going to be the same player after a layoff.
I've heard Lefay's
on
stretching his hamstring or something.
As we start the second half, the ball pushed back to Anthony Patterson in dark black and grey, whose own goal is the difference between the two teams. As we start this second half, and the ball out for a throw to Hull on the right-hand side. Sunderland, Patterson, Hume, Ballard, O'Nien, Sirkin, Neil, Jobe, Roberts, Rigg, Mundle now and Isidore up front. And Hull City, Pandor in goal, Coyle, Jones,
a lot of people puzzled why Lefay has gone off, mind.
Replace Louis Barry with a knee injury. It's Lincoln, the Brazilian.
I did see somebody post
Alzate, Gelhardt, and then
on social media that his hamstrings twinging.
And Joseph for Ruben Seller's team. Throw to Hull City on the left-hand side in their half at the foot of the east side. Third of the pitch. Still in sunshine as the ball goes back to Pandor, who's in light blue, the goalkeeper, the Croatian.
If Lefay is not injured and he's made that sub, it's mind-blowing, it is.
Who's trying to get the ball off Coyle. It comes back though to Alfie Jones, and Jones now just chipping it up to Lincoln.
He must be injured. There must be a knock he's carrying.
Tatso's on a break here. He's got a player free on the left-hand side. Plays it to Joseph. Tries a right foot shot, blocked by Ballard, who's hurt. He's gone down. Gelhardt's trying to get the ball back through again, and now it's won by Alzate, and his shot skims the side netting, but Ballard's in a bad way.
Yeah.
He got hurt in that block.
But again, wide open in the middle of the park, Nick.
Well, Joseph was away on that left side. Crooks was waiting in the middle as well. Matatso picking up the loose ball. Ballard flexing his leg.
I don't know what happened with Ballard there. Like, he's limping quite badly.
Okay, he's limping. Just trying to stretch his legs, bend over, stretches, and referees.
I think Luke O'Nien said he needs a substitution.
Needs someone to come and have a look here. The referee's allowing him to get some treatment.
Luke O'Nien saying substitution.
No sign of Chris Mepham at the moment.
I don't know exactly what happened there.
He's just he's stripping off, looking. Just see some movement underneath the roof of the dugout. It looks as though Mepham, I think it will be, is stripping off, and Ballard looks. Yeah, there's shown a shot of Chris Mepham.
That's hamstring. That's hamstring, Ballard. Oh my God.
Excellent block by Ballard as well.
Yeah, it was a very good block. As you say, Luke O'Nien has been indicating to the bench there needs to be a change, so Ballard's going to come
dropping like flies.
One player who I want to see is Mayenda, just to change it up a little bit, things. You know.
So you get Mundle coming on and say, thank God we've got a player back from injury, and then we've got Lefay off, and then we've got
another stoppage
Ballard
here
off,
as we wait
possible injuries.
Ballard to get up and come off. I don't think he's not happy. It's clearly a blow for Ballard to have to come off in the 49th minute.
Oh, I don't know.
Some suggestion that Lefay may have a hamstring problem, which is the reason he's been replaced at half-time. And
so
it could well be
that
Ballard has the same issue.
Injury problem.
So Mepham's coming on now.
And Ballard with the hamstring.
Ballard, Mundle came on for Lefay. As I say, suggestion that both substitutions, were certainly Ballard's, because of hamstring.
I mean, what chance have you got?
Injuries,
What
but
chance
we'll
have you
clear
got
those
when you're
up
getting your players coming
after
back from injury
the
and these
game.
players just dropping
Game
quicker
is
than your
resumed.
players are coming back?
And the ball played up over the halfway line, drops for Roberts, and now one back.
Once
by
again, this comes down to
Matazzo.
strengthening your squad,
One
doesn't it?
again by Neil, but
lost out.
Hull get the ball.
It's offside.
And,
It's offside.
no, well, the flag has stayed down, but I think it would have come up had he made contact with the ball. It's rolled behind the goal line.
Everton doing well
Because,
2-0 up, says Jeff.
Crooks, I think it was, gave up his run, knowing that he was going to be flagged offside. So all three substitutions, it appears so far, by both teams have been made because of injuries. And the ball played back here to Pandor at the edge of the Hull City penalty area in the 50th minute, Hull leading 1-0. It's with Alfie Jones, who plays it down to Alzate, the Colombian, 26-year-old Colombian international, 7 caps for Colombia.
Offside.
And then offside against Sirkin. And Sirkin wins the free kick. It was against Gelhardt. The ball played across to Mepham. Down the right wing now for Roberts. Humes made a sprint down the touchline. It's played inside. He's trying to find Isidore, and eventually out for a throw to Sunderland on the right. 2/3 of the way inside the Hull City half in the bright sunshine. Hume with the throw. Drops for Rigg. It's stabbed away by Hull. Hume tries to
Geordie
put it back in.
Groundwater.
Matanzo's
Damn,
won it
hadn't
back for
realised
Hull.
it was lunchtime
Roberts trying to
kickoff.
get
Not
it
sure
off
if I've missed
the
much
Belgian.
though.
We try
Not
to get
missed
it on
anything, to be
Joseph,
honest with
but
you.
it's rolled back to Mepham.
Welcome
Mepham
anyway.
now plays it to Luke O'Nien in the centre circle. Rolls it to Sirkin. Mundle's out wide here on the left-hand side.
Injuries all the
back
time. That's
to
why I keep on
Luke
emphasising you
O'Nien,
need strength in depth.
to Mepham.
You have to.
And Mepham out wide to Roberts. Roberts with McLaughlin in
Yeah,
front
Kevin,
of him.
plus
He's cutting
signing
inside.
already
Roberts
injured
trying
players.
to slip the ball into Isidore, but Hull get the ball clear again.
I mean, that's our January transfer window,
Throw
isn't
again
it? Sign
to
a kid from
Sunderland.
Liverpool who's injured.
Back it comes from Mepham to O'Nien inside the Sunderland
Samed
half.
injured.
Squares it to Neil. Dan Neil
Oh
into
my
the
God.
Hull half. Out to the left to Sirkin. Sirkin to Mundle. And Mundle plays it back onto the halfway line to Luke O'Nien in the middle. Rolls it forwards to Mepham. Wide to Roberts. And to Hume and Rigg. And that triangle, Roberts on that far side. The triangles that Regis Lebris likes. It's dropped from the throw to Rigg. Back to
No, but
Hume.
we've only got
Hume
one person
drives
in the
across
box.
off the back of the defender, comes back out to Rigg, down to Hume again, digs it out for Rigg. He's tripped. The referee says play on. Clear trip to my mind, but the referee felt that wasn't, and play goes on with Hull on a counter-attack. But the loose ball is going to be picked up by Sirkin as they try to play it through to Crooks. And now Mundle, he goes down. Crooks is clutching his ankle. He's rolled over onto the touchline in front of Regis Lebris.
All we need now is Mundle to get
Referee
injured,
comes
don't we?
across here.
Can
And
you imagine that?
what's he awarded? A free kick to Sunderland, I think. The City are down to 10 men, but they lead at Plymouth Argyle. And it's back with O'Nien, now with Mepham, wide to Roberts in the loop in the Hull City half. Back to Mepham, across to O'Nien. O'Nien up onto the halfway line, forwards to Job. Job wide to Sirkin on the touchline. He's tackled by Joe Gelhardt. It's a throw to Sunderland again. Sirkin to Job. Job swings a ball across the pitch, looking for Chris Rigg. Hume ahead of him. Hume now trying to come in past the player in front of him, a defender. And now
Mundle energy makes a big
with
difference, says
Luke
Jack.
O'Nien, and wide on the left.
Janet's
to
gone
Mundle.
3-1 Sunderland
Hull are very
prediction.
organised.
Jedi, we have to
Get
use the
bodies behind
force.
the ball. Here, trying to get in down the left is Sirkin. Back to Mundle.
Return of our Jedi.
Mundle
It's hard,
battling with
Jeff.
Gelhardt. Goes
It's
round
like
him.
going in a
Gets
circle.
forwards down the left to Sirkin. Sirkin now trying to cross. Good ball towards Chris Rigg, who stabs it down for Trey Hume, whose shot is blocked in the penalty area, and it will bounce away towards the touchline on the far side. McLaughlin trying to just lob it on to Lincoln and on again to Joseph, but Sunderland put it out.
Come on,
Hume
folks,
knocks it out.
hit that thumbs
throw
up button. Can we get
to
100
Hull
likes before
in the
full time? We're on
54th minute.
48.
Sunderland trailing
And if
still
you're new,
1-0.
please hit the
Live on BBC
subscribe
Radio
button.
Newcastle.
Thank you very much. And we have thanks for the subscriber.
we full
3,690
of
subscribers now to the
Solihull
channel. Thank you.
Gateshead with Colin White.
Thank you very much.
Paul
Thank you.
Dixon. Ball back in the Hull penalty area. Here to Jones. Forwards through the middle.
Can see a draw, says Doug.
On the right-hand side to Gelhardt. Gelhardt trying to get it back inside to Coyle. They win a throw hole just inside the Sunderland half on the right-hand side. Louis Coyle is going to take this. It's just ushered back a few yards, drying the ball off under his amber shirt, and now stands in front of Ruben Sellers. Back to Jones. Jones, Isidore trying to close him down. Across to McLaughlin, wide to Lincoln. Inside then it's pushed on
Needs
by
to be
Crooks
Jack.
Joseph, and Crooks is offside. Free kick to Sunderland.
Neglected looking Regis Labrie there.
Pointing as to where he wants the ball placed. Mepham takes the free kick. Over to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien swings the ball wide to the right, looking for the run of Roberts, but it's cut out.
I just can't see where a goal's coming from. Brilliant here for Sunderland.
Lifted over Job, drops it to Alzate, who plays it on then to Joseph, back to Matazzo, and out to the right here to Coyle. Matazzo again down the right wing. Gelhardt into Matazzo, who tried to push it past O'Nien, who blocked it, and then a stab by Alzate to try and get it off Dan Neil. It comes back to Mepham and to Hume, past Lincoln on to Roberts. Little flick inside to Hume. Hume runs into the Hull half. Isidore makes a run, but the ball goes through to Pandor, the goalkeeper.
A point is absolutely no
rolls it
good.
out.
It's for wanting to try and keep
Just
the pressure on
outside the
Sheffield
penalty area,
United
Hughes
and
to
Burnley.
Lincoln, back
But
to
if we wanted
Hughes,
to consolidate in the
and,
in the
Hughes will
playoffs,
play
then
it
a draw's not too
to
bad. But
McLaughlin.
the way you look at
Sean
it, but like
McLaughlin,
we've got to
back
start
to
winning games at
Charlie
home.
Hughes, former Wigan, Manchester City defender. Now on the right-hand side, Jones bringing this out. Up to the halfway
Sunderland's
line.
Janet
Coyle
says
crashes
Hull are
into
playing
Luke
for their lives.
O'Nien,
But the trouble is,
and,
every team we
O'Nien's
play are
penalised.
playing
It's
for
a
their
free
lives.
kick to
It's
Hull
about
City.
time that Sunderland started playing for their lives. They've got to.
You've just got to go for it, trying to get back in the game.
No sign of any substitutes warming up. Matazzo's going to take the.
How much of a hangover from Leeds is this? David Thompson says, Cabbies, we are absolutely SHITE.
Jones forward to Matazzo again, out to Coyle on the right wing, looking for Lincoln. Over Sirkin's head, O'Nien has to tidy up on the shoulder of
It's
Joseph.
like they've given up on the top two.
Played into the
That's
middle.
what it looks like,
Rigg,
and it's like
Matazzo tackles him. The ball back with
playoff series.
Hughes.
That's what it looks like out
after
there.
a tackle by Rigg. Now Gelhardt trying to win it back, but Roberts has got it. Roberts rolls it down to Hume. Hume crosses Isidore.
Oh, he's missed.
Heads it just wide of the left post.
You've got to score.
Great ball in from Hume.
You've got to score. It's a great ball in. You've got to hit the target, Nick. You've got to hit the target.
Isidore heading it wide.
No.
Just wide at the left post now.
Should have been 1-1.
The crowd getting impatient because of the delay in taking the goal
Let's
kick
have a look at this again.
from Pandor. He's pushed his centre-backs upfield. Kicks up down the right side.
He just heads it down past the
by
post.
O'Nien.
He had a bit of pressure from the
1-0
whole
then still to
defender,
Hull.
not
Comes
much
back
though.
here to Dan Neil, back to
That's
Patterson.
a pretty much free header from
Patterson,
Isidore.
they
That
closed down
should have
by
got that on
Kyle
target.
Joseph.
That's disappointing. Should have scored. Absolutely,
Comes back to
Fernie.
Charlie Hughes in the middle of the Hull City half. Plays
Return
out to
says
the
it's a
left
good
wing.
job we've got that cushion.
And it's just
We are not doing
poked
autos.
through,
They'll
looking for
all
Lincoln
grind
in
out
the
wins. We
penalty
don't.
area, but Patterson gets to it first. Rolls it out to Job. Job Mundle's on the left wing. Job's taking this over halfway. He's checked and cutting back inside now. Plays it into the middle to Dan Neil in the centre.
Crazy how good Isidore is, but
Cross
does miss
on
the
the
odd
right
sitter. It does.
to
I
Hugh.
take me end
Roberts
of
is
brace
down the
right now,
touchline.
man.
He goes for Rigg though, down the right side of the penalty area. He falls over his own feet. And the ball
We've given
goes
up today.
behind for a
So
goal kick.
frustrating, says John. So
Very,
our Sunderland
very
looking at their
frustrating.
first
59th
defeat
minute,
of the
Sunderland
season
0, Hull
at
City
home.
1. Pandor, the two
Mayenda's
centre-backs
coming-
either side of him.
Mayenda's coming on
Mayenda's
now.
going to come on, isn't he? He's warming up. In fact, is that Mayenda or is that Salis?
It's got to be Mayenda.
Got to be
Looks like
Meander.
Salis.
I was just thinking it looks like Salis. I'm not sure
It
if that is
cannot-
Meander, but
That won't be popular, Nick.
we'll see shortly. Here's Dan Neil. Neil.
Get Regoff, he's
out
having a
wide to
mare.
Mundle.
Is anyone
As
happy with
run
this
from
performance?
Sirkin
It's
down the left of
awful.
The penalty area. The ball played into the back of the penalty box and knocked out by Hull. Comes back to Mundle on the left-hand side here. Back to O'Nien. O'Nien, short pass inside to Mepham.
This is going to be
that
interesting
is
if he
Meander, isn't
fetches.
Yeah.
Got to fetch Meander on. That's Steve.
The
He'd probably fetch off freaking Isidore now. You watch.
yeah, it's Meander's going to come on.
Number 12.
And Mundle on the left swings it across to the far
Come on.
post, headed back by Roberts onto the roof of the net. Cute angle, couldn't quite get it in, but Meyender's going to come on now. And the player he's going to replace is Rigg.
Rig. Job was off it against Leeds as well.
Meyender then comes on.
I wouldn't have started Rig.
Eliza Meyender changed the direction of the game. It's a frustrated Chris Rigg who his head drops as he walks into the dugout.
Interesting now. You've got two up top now.
Yeah, and they're trying to put the press on Pandor, who passes the ball out to Alzate.
I thought Sunderland fans thought Rig was worth 40 million.
Lincoln tries
He's a
to
young
back
lad.
heel inside. He goes
He's a
straight
young
to
lad.
Dan Neil.
He's
Now
just bent.
Job, he's pulled down by Alzate. Free kick to Sunderland. We're on the hour mark, the 61st minute. Hull leading 1-0. Here's Mundle down the left-hand side, trying to get in past Coyle and Lincoln, but fouled by Lincoln. And a free kick on the left between the penalty area and the touchline. Lincoln, the Brazilian, spoken to by Farai Hallam, the referee this afternoon, who I think actually on the whole has refereed this game quite,
I think
quite
he's done well.
Yeah,
It's been awful,
been one of
Chris.
the better
It's been awful.
referees. Senior referee officer at the FA, you'd expect him to be. So Mundle and Roberts,
Good
Mundle
delivery.
runs away. Roberts
Good
is going to
delivery.
take the free kick. Most of the penalty area is now in shadow, which it wasn't in the first half. Here's Roberts curling it
Great ball.
in. They've tried to attack it, but Hull have got so many people back, they've managed to get it out to Lincoln on the right-hand side. And he's trying to get it down here on the right for
Look at that, 4
Gelhardt.
against
They've got
2.
4 against 2 here. And Gelhardt to the edge of the area, taps it in now, and it's pushed in. Is it? No. It's somehow cleared. It's going to drop for a backheel goal
Offside,
from
he's
Crooks.
offside.
But the
It's
offside flag
offside.
is up.
Unbelievable, man.
It won't count. So
Got
that
away with
cheeky
one.
goal.
So
Yeah.
Hull still looking the
From
more
that
likely
cross
to
will
get a
not
second when they
count.
gone forward.
Got away with it,
They
Nick.
did. It was 4 against 2 on the counter-attack from Sunderland's free kick.
I think Trey Hume was excellent.
Nice little back heel there from Crooks,
So
mind.
1-0 it remains. Gelhardt tried to get the ball, he slipped it in, and it came up off Patterson, and then
Yeah, he's
as the
offside.
ball was played to Crooks, he was marginally offside when the ball was played through to him. Mepham with a big kick for Isidore to chase down to the goal line, but he can't keep it in. It's a goal kick to Hull City, 63rd minute. Holding on to a precious
Meander
1-0
hat-trick, Jack.
lead,
This is a
Hull.
Sunderland I know.
21st
Rig
in the
needs a rest,
Championship.
or when he's sold,
Well aware
the
perhaps
price
at half-time
won't
that
be sold.
Cardiff are leading
Good.
at Plymouth, and they play Cardiff on
Dave says
Tuesday.
we will
Hull
not get
City.
promotion this season. I have
Now
zero
they
confidence
take
in
their
Sunderland
time
in
with
the
a goal
playoffs.
kick. They pass it amongst themselves at the back, and then it's played up towards the halfway line. Lincoln, challenged by Sirkin, comes off Alzate, drops for O'Nien, finds Dan Neil, he's tackled, and they're trying to push it forward. Crooks feels he was obstructed. He's
We're
furious.
pathetic
but the
today.
referees
Can't
let
get
play
any
go
worse,
on.
can it?
And
Says John.
Roberts now has to
When
roll
would we
it
just
out
be getting
to
subs on early?
Hume on the
2-1
right.
Sunderland.
A burst from Hume, a cross from him, looking for Meander, but put away
Dragon
for a
says,
throw.
yeah, agreed. At
A few
least the
yards from
subs are
corner
before
flag on the
80
right-hand
minutes.
side for Sunderland. Hume. Now Roberts looks up, plays it into the middle. Luke O'Nien forwards to Sirkin on the left of midfield. Wide to Mundle. Mundle now. Coyle in front of him. and Mundle trying to twist away from Lincoln now. And Coyle comes across, slides in underneath the legs of Mundle and concedes a throw to Sunderland. Sirkin's going to take this. Across comes Job. Mundle's down the line, but it's gone for Job. Job pushes it back to Mepham in the middle. Neil, Dan Neil now across on the right hand side to Hume. Roberts is just inside of him, and now down to Hume again. His cross into the penalty area is just hooked away over Mundle by Coyle, but Mundle's run onto it out towards the touchline. Now cutting back inside, runs into Lincoln. Lincoln puts a foot to it, and Sirkin's going to cross. Is there anybody there? Pandor catches it before it lands on the head of Mayenda. It's now Plymouth 1, Cardiff 1. Cardiff playing with 10 men. And Sunderland 0, Hull City 1 here at the Stadium of Light.
Ken says only 2 players chased back against 4 Hull, dear me. Useless. Normsky says it's Patterson's nickname the wall as the ball always bounces off him. Dragon says it's hard to be positive, and when they read the comments even more so. Chris says we are definitely staying in the Championship. Fernie says if you're losing still after 75 minutes, would like to see you go and try and get a win. Absolutely. Richard said this performance has to be up there with the worst this season. Sorry to be negative, Cabby, but this is worlds apart from what we played against Leeds.
He whips the bands up. Mundle will take the throw.
Take the throw down now.
And leaves it for Sirkin. Sirkin hurls it back to Luke O'Nien on the halfway line. Mepham in the centre circle. Sunderland still trailing 1-0. Hume out to Roberts. He's got to come past McLaughlin. McLaughlin just tracking him. And Gelhart's over there as well. Roberts trying to shake off the pair of them. Trying to get
Easy
to the goal
needs
line.
5 chances to score
Foot,
once.
gets the ball into the penalty area, but straight to Alzate. And the Colombian
Dave the Rave, man of the match, Anthony Pato. Return says Dragon I'm being negative, but still have hope. Foolish thought that is. Tony says barring a total collapse, we will make the playoffs. Is at the start of the collapse. And Stephen says we have been so hit and miss for ages. Dave Thompson says Cabby, I'm watching this rubbish 7,500 miles away in the northern Thailand. It's 9 PM here and I might as well go to bed. Well, thanks for tuning in, Dave. Easy says I still think Sunderland will win, and Jack says got to be honest, win or lose, we want the best out of the team. Every club is like that.
On the left, spreading it wide again to
But put it this way, if we carry on the way we are, we'll get eaten alive against the playoffs. In the playoffs.
Sirkin, Lincoln's in front of him, gets a touch, but Mundle picks up the loose ball, plays it behind him to Job, into the centre circle to Mepham, and wide to Patrick Roberts. Hume jogs forwards, Isidore's in there, Mienda's in there, Roberts trying to get the ball in from the right side of the penalty area, and Gelhart blocks it for a corner.
They're going to make a double substitution.
Ken Udell says can't score goals playing the ball backwards all the time and no runners.
Yao Pedro.
Dave, Doug says he hasn't had a decent breakfast yet.
And
the cabby clock says it's nearly 2 o'clock.
As Roberts swings the ball in, it's headed away out for a throw by McLaughlin. So who is coming off? Joseph's coming off for Pedro. And Crooks is
Richard Stedman, welcome to help us support the channel. Thanks, Richard, mate. I do appreciate that. It means a lot, mate. Thank you.
Gustavo Puerto, who's on loan from Bayer Leverkusen.
Of course, you can join me and Richard and the Mackham Cabby and Davey show this Monday
with Pedro, who's
as we discuss whatever happens here. Cheers for being a member, Richard, mate. It means a lot.
Dan needs treatment. And Pedro's background's interesting. He was born in Brazil, and
Sunderland are the second best team in the Championship. Classwell Tell says has Isidore even had a chance on goal? Yeah, he had a header. He should have really scored.
Macedonia.
He put wide.
The players all come down towards the touchline here. A few stand around to see what the issue is. Not sure which player it is that's down, but
the cabby clock says it's 2 o'clock.
The whole player
as we've got another player from Hull City that's gone down.
Hull City 1, if you're just joining us on BBC Radio Newcastle. He's being helped to his feet.
Playing in like a fluorescent orange strip, Hull City.
Medics, the physios. And it looks as though it's Charlie Hughes, I think.
I can't see where a Sunderland goal is going to come from. I can't.
Looks like there may be another injury. John Egan, the former Sunderland centre-half, looks like he's going to replace Hughes.
To be fair, the ref's had a decent game, mind. He's not been anywhere near card happy as what the referee was at Leeds United. So you've got to give credit to the referee.
32 years
tried
old
to
now,
keep the game flowing.
Who was at Sunderland.
Topsy says, can't see us playing a fortnight and not scoring here, likes. This is awful to watch. Getting beat at home from the third lowest scores in the league. I too agree, Topsy. Easy says the players are young, they just need a goal.
The fourth official wants to check his studs. And Egan still waiting to come on. He's standing beside the fourth official, who's showing the board now and making it official.
Fernie says you can take a loss if the team has put a shift in for the fans. Needs to bucks up. We do. It's just not been good enough. Oh, that's the trouble.
Sirkin with this throw for Sunderland. We're in the 70th minute. Charlie Hughes and Ruben Sellers having a long conversation as Charlie Hughes comes off.
Dave Thompson says, I think we've already had the best Regis can offer us. He seems to have tad lost it to me, says Dave.
Back by Job. Matazzo pushes him over. And it's a free kick which Job puts his foot through. Back to Mepham.
A goal shattered Hull's game plan. They've done a good job with it so far. So good for them. Janet says, if we had a striker, we would be off and running.
20 minutes or so to play. Mundle on the left here. Tries to get into the penalty area. It's blocked. Free kick for Sunderland.
It should be a yellow card
now. Is that going to be a yellow card for Coyle? The referee speaking to him, but no further action. Left side, just outside the penalty area. It was a cynical foul. There was no doubt about it. So,
good delivery.
Mundle and Roberts. Mundle's still bouncing up and down with his left foot. Yeah, sore on the right where he was caught.
Good delivery.
Roberts is going to take the free kick. Mundle's still trying to run off that knock. He's played short to Mundle. Right foot strike blocked by Alzate. Headed back in by O'Nien. It's in the air again, and there's offside.
Pathetic.
Free kick to Hull City. 72nd minute. Pandor's not really had much to do, has he?
Forget the Prem, says Derek. Just not good enough. Everton are still winning 2-0. John Yule, we're not good enough. Hull will try everything from now on. I always prepare for the worst and hope for the best for SAFC. Returns. DJS, the second best in the Championship, is a wild take. Sheffield United have 8 more points and a game in hand. But forget top 2 if this stays the same. You've got him.
Dan Neal. McLaughlin gets his head on it, and now Matazzo's trying to control it.
This is so disappointing, says Dave.
In the air. It's dropped for O'Nien in the centre circle, but one back by Hull. They get the ball from Pedro through to, well, in the end, Puerto trying to find Lincoln. Comes back halfway, McLaughlin down the left to Gelhardt, nudging it on to Lincoln. 2 in the box for Hull, and it's gone behind. Has it? It's come off the crossbar, and Patterson somehow clawed it away as it was played back in. It's still in play in the corner with Mundle, because played it out straight though to Puerta, and he plays it inside to Alzate at the corner of the penalty area. The two Colombians together here. Puerta to Coyle, back to Gustavo Puerta down in the corner. Job and Mundle trying to get the ball off him, which they do. Job.
Same with me, Doug. It's funny when Man U keep getting beat.
A chase for Mayenda, but John Egan plays it back to Pandor, the goalkeeper in his light blue. Out to Egan. Showed too much to Isidore. Now Mayenda. Matazzo's over him, but Mayenda on his right foot. Whistles past the post.
There we go again. Fernie, we will sort the game in hand on Monday, DJ. How kind of you, Fernie. Give him a good tanking, mate.
After a mistake by John Egan.
But that's where you've got 2 strikers, put pressure on you, win the ball.
And now the goalkeeper. The referee's going to book him. Yellow card for Pandor.
A good effort there by Mayenda. Just flashed past the post.
In the 74th minute.
Night Cabby had enough. Bedtime in Thailand. Oh, good night, Dave. Cheers for tuning in, mate. Sorry it's been so drab.
So that's 2 chances whistling past the left post. The goal kick from Pandor, then the Croatian up over the halfway line, headed on by Sirkin on the touchline, and Coyle stabs it forwards, but
Hull
Sirkin
attack
gets
is
it
3
back
on
to
3.
Mundle.
Sunderland is
Lincoln
1
gets the
against
ball
4.
off him. Lincoln now just flicking it through to
Leeds
João
odds on for
Pedro.
Monday game,
Can't
absolutely.
keep it in on this right-hand side, Gustavo Puerta. And so
If Sunderland go up, you think they would beat
Sunderland.
Newcastle, says Zuden.
Passes it out now to Mepham.
Didn't think it would be gated the way we're going on. Chris Coates says 2-1 Everton now. Must be long in that game left at Goodison Park, is there?
We had 6 minutes at the end of the first half. We've had a few stoppages in the second half. Job to Mundle, Mundle back to Sirkin.
DJ
Sirkin
and all
again to O'Nien.
reality, most teams will be
O'Nien,
doing in Ipswich now,
to Mepham.
hoovering up
Pedro gives
to the
chase,
tune of
played wide
150
to
million in
Roberts
talent
inside the
each year
whole
in the
half.
Championship.
He pulled down, was he? By
That's going to be a Shark Tank from now on, year on
referee
year. It
agrees.
is.
It's Everton 2, Manchester United 1 in the Premier League, the lunchtime kickoff. O'Nien wide now to Mundle. Mundle looks up, brings it inside to Dan Neil. Neil looking for the run of Sirkin, but it's just overhit. Runs out at the corner flag for a throw to Hull. And the pressure increasing time-wise on Sunderland. As we're into this final quarter of an hour.
I've got a feeling.
Can they go on and win it? Let's just concentrate on getting one, actually. let's just start at the beginning. Throw for Hull. Coyle will take it. Down the line. Headed back by Sirkin to O'Nien, inside to Mepham on the halfway line. In the centre circle. Mepham plays it across to Neil here on the left-hand side. And wide again to Mundle. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Sunderland 0, Hull City 1 in the 76th minute. More live football to come at 3 o'clock with Solihull.
We won't beat Red House Club.
Colin White and Paul Dixon. The ball in the middle with Mepham out to Hume wide, and looks to try and get it to Mayenda down the right side of the penalty area, but the defender just held off Mayenda and the ball whipped behind for a goal kick. "13 shots and 1 on target. Up to now, it's pathetic," says the Hunter. Sounds like a wholehearted appeal to get people to sit down, and they've all stood up. It's had the absolute opposite effect of what was intended. The message to sit down is blatantly ignored. Matazzo's coming forwards now for Hull City, out to the left wing, where Gelhardt swings in a cross looking for Pedro, but it's headed away. It will drop again down that left side for McLaughlin to try and win, but Hume has got it, and McLaughlin, well, he lets it. Hume plays it off him behind for a goal kick.
David Surtees, I don't blame you. I woke up from last night's shift for this. I'm going back to bed now.
Thinking about yet
Sunderland couldn't beat an egg, says Stevie. Hi Cabby, say hi to the lads here at Kuwait. Gopi, Kuma, Francis and Mohammed had to put them through this day. Well, hello to every single one of you. Richard Newton
trying to get forwards. Could be Regan Slater, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be Slater who's going to come on.
Slater, correct.
Oh, Mr. Nomsky, don't blame you.
Final change. Midfielder. 1-0 to Hull. Mundle down the left to Sirkin. He's played it straight to Alzate. Come out here on the right for Puerta.
This is like pulling teeth, isn't it?
Out to the touchline. He's forced out by Dan Neil. He puts the ball out. Dan Neil takes a quick throw. O'Nien now to Isidore. Sunderland, of course, desperately trying to avoid their first home defeat of the season. Roberts running at Gelhardt at the corner of the penalty area on the right. Still going. Roberts sliding it through to Joe, but he can't get it through to Isidore. Comes out to O'Nien, and now Dan Neil. Mundle on the left-hand side. Coyle in front of him. Mundle crosses. It's headed in the air by the defenders. Egan heads it out. Pedro nods it out to Puerta, who gives it to Lincoln, who's trying to get Pedro away, but Mepham knocks it back into the Hull half. Lincoln tries to get it forward again. It comes back to Mepham. Lincoln picks himself off the floor. Mepham plays it across to Trey Hume, just right of the centre circle. Down the right now to Roberts. Roberts dribbling at Gelhardt into the penalty area, leaving it now for Hume to cross. It's whipped away though from Mienda. It's out for a throw on the far side.
With all these performances, I don't see any goals coming from Sunderland, says Heidi. All them players won't be here if we don't go up. At the end of our home record today, says John. Sunderland are crap today from Australia.
So they freshen things up yet
if we
again.
get promoted with this team, we'll break records for the worst. I'll have more fun walking a goldfish, says
Belgian Elliot Matazzo heading off. On comes Regan Slater.
215 watching, 69. Hit the like button if you can hit the like button if we can get to 100.
At least find
an much appreciated, thank you. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button, thank you.
Mepham across the front of the centre circle to O'Nien. O'Nien wide now to Mundle.
There's about 8 minutes left or so, plus stoppages,
Coyle.
Which I think will be about 4 minutes, 5 minute stoppages.
O'Nien back out to Sirkin on the left. Crosses.
Good ball.
That's a crossfield ball because it effectively has picked up Roberts on the right touchline. Gelhardt stabs it away. Hume puts it back in here again, and Joe tries to get on the end of it, as did Isidore, but neither could. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
Got to head it.
Over the top of Isidore.
Is
Joe
that on his head?
Get a touch. I'm not sure. We watched the replay. Did it make any contact with either? No, I think he missed it. He whistled past his forehead. Goal kick to Hull. Pandor placing the ball on the 6-yard line on the right, and all the players.
What a depressing Saturday so far.
Towards this small square on the Hull City right, up through the middle. Mepham heads it away from Pedro, out to Roberts on the right. Mienda's making a run down this right-hand side, needs someone else through the middle. It's put out for a throw though to Sunderland. Hume jogging down to take it. Back to Mepham on the halfway line. So is Luke O'Nien, and O'Nien to Sirkin down the left of midfield, out wide to Mundle. Mundle back to O'Nien, into Mepham, running onto this on the right side of central midfield, then plays it out to Roberts. Roberts now is going to come past Gelhardt again, comes out of the penalty area on the right, slips it into Hume, and Hume played it off McLaughlin. It looked like the ball might have crossed the goal line, but not fully. The assistant doesn't flag, the goalkeeper fell on it, and unfortunately Sunderland again couldn't find a way through. So Hull leading 1-0. A kick from Pandor, bounces once through the centre circle.
Do you think Sunderland fans are going to start saying Regis Lebreeze took Sunderland as far as he can?
Taps it out.
As I've seen a few comments.
82nd minute. We've nearly played 82 minutes. 18th minute own goal by Anthony Patterson. Sirkin.
We've put the ball into the box with no end product all day.
Neil.
Job is off. He's not red and white through and through. Need Ballard on for headers. Tony says a looping ball in Hull's box. Job watches as a Hull player are cleaners unchallenged in front. Man U 2-2. Damn, Trevor, is it?
To Mundle on the left. Mundle now blocked by Lincoln, being forced out. Plays it back to Dan Neil. Neil in the middle. Plays it to Mepham just alongside of him. Back to Dan Neil on the left and down to Sirkin, left of the penalty area. Lincoln goes with him, and Sirkin has to play it back to Neil, closed down by Puerta. Play to Mepham in the middle, and now with Hume. Hume drives one into the penalty area. It's blocked. There's a call for handball off Coyle, and absolutely no reaction from the referee. Just a shake of the head now. And Mundle down the left, crosses, looking for Roberts. It's flicked away again. It's going to run out for yet another throw to Sunderland on the right, a few yards from the corner flag, which Roberts is going to leave for Hume. Hume comes down to take this now. Roberts just jogging into the penalty, looking for Mienda, comes back out to Hume on the far side, and he plays it back to Mepham. Mepham across to Dan Neil here in the middle, and Dan Neil down the left to Mundle. Mundle taking
nothing working Fernie at all.
He's shaking him off, but then Coyle makes a block, can't keep the ball in as he has, and it's gone for a throw at the corner.
I'm done with this crap talk about getting your faith tested, says Mackham. Yeah.
Tried to scrabble the ball
penalty,
away.
That was defo a handball, says David
Manchester
Surtees.
United 2 at Goodison Park. Sirkin to Mundle, and Mundle trying to get it back to Sirkin. He does. He's managed to work it through to Mundle again, but now Alzate winning it from Sirkin, slipping it down the touchline to Puerta, but he's played it in front of Dan Neil, and Neil turns and shakes off Puerta, and now has to do it again. Plays the ball inside to Job. Job across now to Mepham.
That was handball.
85th minute. Hull still leading 1-0. Here's Roberts down the right-hand side. Roberts dribbling at Gelhardt, leaves it down the right of the penalty area from Hume's cross. McLaughlin heads it out. It's another throw to Sunderland.
Every time we're going forward,
Hume
it's just Gary Bennett's size, isn't it?
It's just to Roberts. Roberts looks
it's
up,
just the
crosses
same stuff all the
in
time.
towards the penalty spot and Sirkin, but headed out by Hull. Neil plays it behind Mundle. It's a throw to Hull. Frustration.
Unbelievable.
You can hear it.
I've never seen Sunderland play
Frustration
worse
around the
this
crowd.
season, says John.
As Coyle, in no great hurry to come over and take the throw, meanders across, takes the throw, doesn't know, he went to take the throw and decides that
Stephen,
he
they
needs
look like
some
another
movement
defeat
from
to a
his
low
teammates.
side. Just unbelievable how
Coyle then
low we have
down
got
the
my
line,
heart.
looking
It
for
is just so
Pedro, comes
broken,
back
not
to
just
O'Neill
for
on the
myself, but
halfway
for
line.
every Sunderland
Slips it
supporter.
inside
14
to
shots,
Dan
only
Neil.
1 on target, says
Neil,
Fernie.
edge of the centre
Not
circle,
good enough, is it?
chased by Pedro.
Sunderland fans are starting
Plays
to
it
leave for the
here to
exits.
Hume. Hume on the right wing now is Patrick Roberts. Gelhardt in front of him. Roberts coming back.
I'd love to know what Regis Labrie going to come up with at full time if we lose this. Like,
now to Dan Neil.
what's he going to start saying, Regis Labrie? Is he going to start saying, "Oh, we'll learn from this. We'll learn from this"?
He's got Sirkin down the left, but he's got Lincoln in front of him, staying with him at every move that Mundle makes. Now Mundle onto his right, curls the ball in, looking for O'Nien. Isidore, he's managed to shoot halfway between the goal and the corner flag. Goal kick.
We just have not been good enough in that 18-yard box.
Why though?
City then looking at their 6th away win.
I mean, tell me this, people in the chat, is it impossible for Sunderland to even slip out the playoffs?
And then you look at Hull, and 2 or 3 occasions, they could have easily have had a second goal.
They could have done it. Sort of,
you know,
It's not good enough being clapped out though, John, is it?
3-0
You've got to last the whole season.
They're on the ball inside the Sunderland half. Slater to Coyle, wide on the right in front of Regis Labrie, and plays it back to Alfie Jones, inside to Egan, back to the keeper, and Pandor just casually rolls it out to Egan again and out to McLaughlin, wide on the left, happy to play it deep into the Sunderland half, looking for Pedro, but back came Hume, and now O'Nien just outside the D. He's bringing this out, 87th minute, out to Sirkin on the left-hand side, where we talked about Sunderland conceding late goals. Can they score a late goal? They've done so on a few occasions this season, and they need to do it again. Now Mepham wide to Roberts. Roberts again heading into the corner of the penalty area, slipping it to Hume. Hume shoots, Pandor finally made a save, palms it away. Sirkin plays it back to Mundle, and Mundle now has Lincoln in front of him again. Plays it to Neil, man on, shouts the crowd. It's back from Mundle to Neil. In fact, it was Hume, and the initial crowd shout, and the ball played fairly tamely in straight at Pandor. So it's taken until the 87th minute for Pandor to make a save from Hume. Sunderland still trailing then, 1-0. Pandor with the kick up through into the Sunderland half. It drops to Luke O'Nien. Inside, in the middle, Mepham. Pedro in front of him. Plays it square
We
right
can still
to
miss the
Hume.
playoffs, of course we can.
Hume now plays it back to Chris Mepham. A lot of people staying. There's maybe a sense that that late goal could come. Here's Sirkin.
Where though?
Down the left-hand side. I think we'll get quite a bit of injury time, added time. O'Nien down the left again to Sirkin. Sirkin, Lincoln's gone with him, slipped it in, trying to find Mundle, but Alzate makes a sliding challenge, and it's eventually stabbed behind by Sirkin for a goal kick. In the 89th minute, Hull lead 1-0.
And just look at the goal they give away as well, man.
They have a goal kick and they've got to play it down. More time, I suspect, that will be added on at the end of the game.
think the question is, have we done enough to win the game?
We've done enough. We haven't done enough to draw the game.
I agree with you there. I don't think they've done enough in many respects to even score an equaliser. So well organised. The fact that Pandor's only had one save to make, I think, probably tells the story in its own right. Disappointing from Sunderland, the reaction to the Monday night defeat to.
He's had to win this
Leeds.
Game, says Madeline. You know. Chris Coates 2-2 Celtic.
Then Hume.
We defo will not slip out of the top 6, says Cole.
And then Puerta nearly won it, but back came Hume. He's got it back to Mepham.
Fans are streaming out the stadium right now.
In the last minute, shortly we'll see how much time's being added on at the end. Mepham bringing this up into the centre circle, leaving it for Dan Neil. Neil into the Hull half and then out wide to Mundle. Mundle cutting back inside into the middle to Job. Job to Mepham at the edge of the centre circle. Lewis Smith strolling out slowly to the touchline with the indicator board. Out to Sirkin, back again to Dan Neil. 6 minutes as the ball floats into the hands of Pandor. He manages to keep it in. So into those 6 minutes.
I mean, what's a draw going to do?
Leading,
even if we get a point, I mean,
1-0.
seriously.
Pandor has the ball. The Croatian, 6'2", just walks out to the edge of his area and then kicks high up into the
I know you feel
Sunderland
Diver.
half. Baletic sort of a clearance attempted by Dan Neil, and then Sirkin has to head it clear, and Job gets it down to Neil. Neil bringing this on down the left hand side now for Mundle. Mundle out wide on the left, he's trying to cut in past Coyle, he clips the ball onto the roof.
No, every freaking time we go
forward. A goal kick to Hull. Played a minute of the 6 being added on. We had 6 at the end of the first half, we've got 6.
God, this is so painful to watch.
5 left, Hull leading 1-0. Pandor waiting for everybody to get upfield, at least around the halfway line.
Richard Stedman, we can still get to playoffs, but we lack confidence and energy today. I'd love to know what we actually do in training.
Get anything from this game.
I'm getting there, Dale.
The ball down to Mepham. Mepham now to Roberts on that right wing in the Hull half. Gelhardt goes with him.
I just think mentally the players have realised the top two's gone.
Looking for the run of O'Nien. He goes down in the challenge, a shoulder
and I think
barge,
mentally they've just gone.
And the ball back with Pandor.
After that Leeds defeat, and I just think playoffs now, and I think they're settling for the playoffs. I honestly think that's what's going on.
Frustrated.
It tells you something when you've got the centre back who's the one who's making them runs.
Making the runs.
Midfield players.
O'Nien just lurks beside Pandor, who takes the kick. High, 2 minutes played now of the minimum 6. Mepham gets it away from Pedro. Straight though to Gelhardt. He's still going, Gelhardt, and he's gone through now for Puerta. He gets a shot away, and it took a deflection for a corner. So in added time, Hull get their first corner of the second half. The first 2 cause mayhem.
A draw is needed for confidence. A loss after Leeds could start to collapse if we still make playoffs. We won't do out.
Hume's having to go across, try and encourage Gustavo Puerta to get a move on.
Keep it in the corner, that's what they'll do.
They're leading 1-0.
Cole says, Regis Sabri said we need 90 points for top 2. I had a weird feel about Hull today. We were always going to lose a game at home, but if we win 10 out of 12, that's 92, I believe. It's never going to happen.
Straight to Alzate, it's stabbed away by Dan Neil. It comes back into the edge of the penalty area, and again, Neil has to clear it, looking to try and get Isidore away. He's hauled down by John Egan, and Egan's shown a yellow card.
Second one for the team now.
See you later, Dale. Go on, like, this will still be in the Championship next season.
And the 94th.
Got to keep momentum going for the playoffs, Cabby. No good going into them with a few losses. I know, Fernie.
Free kick for Sunderland, almost on the centre spot. Trey Hume's going to take it. Daniel's just forwards of him on the left of the centre circle. And Hull pushing out quite a long way. Hume clips it up to the edge of the penalty area. Drops for Mepham. He couldn't quite control it. Coyle's gone flat on his face, and the referee's blown for a free kick. I'm assuming for the push on
Chris says we are still going to be in the Championship next season. We won't do nothing in the playoffs. We are.
Mienda's gone and retrieved the ball. He wants to get on with this, and he plonks it down for Pandor to take the free
Enjoyed
kick.
the ice hockey result today,
Played
says
nearly
John.
94 minutes now. Time ebbing away, slipping away from Sunderland. Supporters slipping away as well. Pandor with the
Lebris
free
tactical
kick.
inept, says
Tries
Jeff.
it up through the middle, straight to Mepham, who chests it down to Hume. Hume now to Roberts. Gelhardt quickly onto him and fouls Roberts. There's a free kick, which Patterson's sprinting out to take on the right side. 95th minute, throws the ball forwards a few yards, just short of the halfway line. Sunderland pushing everybody up now, except Dan Neil in the centre circle. Hull again pushed right out here, 25 yards out to defend this free kick. Patterson drives it in. As the ball goes out wide left, Lincoln heads it in the air.
Paul
Joe
Walker
tries
says,
nod it
to be
on.
fair,
Alzate heads it out
we've
to
been
Puerta.
punching above our weight and it's
Puerta now
catching up with
trying to
us.
set up Gelhardt to break, and he's got round Hume. He's getting away from Hume, and he's got Lincoln here on the right-hand side. Lincoln running onto this. Pedro in the middle, but Lincoln happy just to let it roll down. He's got Mepham in front of him. Plays it back to Alzate. Alzate in midfield now, just outside the area. Takes a shot, which comes off the back of Pedro, straight to Patterson. We're in the last minute.
You have to get it up, kick
And
it.
we've got now Derby 0, Millwall 1 right at the end in that lunchtime kickoff. 90th minute. Can Sunderland get something right at the death here? They put the ball out for a throw to Hull on this right-hand side, and even the most die-hard of optimists here is leaving now, feeling that this
Well
game
played,
is
Hull. See you
beyond
Monday for therapy, cabby.
Sunderland.
Cheers, Richard, mate.
30
Been
seconds.
shocking, hasn't it?
Less left for Sunderland to try and find an equaliser, and Coyle has a throw for Hull down the right line. It comes back now to Dan Neil. Sunderland
That's
on the
got
verge
to
of
be the
losing
worst
their
performance
unbeaten
this
home
season.
record. Roberts on the right, trying to dribble in here. Can he do something at the death? He's just put it round the post. His shot from just outside
That's
the
it,
penalty
it's all
area was
over.
the last kick of the game.
Listen, them boos round the
Sunderland
stadium of
have
light, like.
beaten for the first time in the league this season at the Stadium of Light, 1-0 by Hull City.
So once again, a team from the
own
bottom
goal
5 of the division comes
in
up
the
and plays like
18th
Barcelona.
And in
Unbelievable.
fairness,
Unbelievable.
Hull worked hard for that win. You can't say Sunderland did enough to get something from the game.
Well, you look at it, Nick, and it's
Absolute
a disappointing
PT.
result.
Absolute PT. That's
and
disgusting.
I think
Sunderland.
overall, especially with the performance which we've been used to, it's been a disappointing performance. And again, obviously the spotlight is on Patterson.
Patterson, yeah. Absolutely.
We gave him the benefit
What
of the doubt,
an
maybe at
absolute
Leeds.
sack of
But
crap.
I've got to say, he's got to do better with that goal.
What
But
an absolute
overall,
sack of crap
you know,
that
we
was
should
today.
not
I'm
have
so
given
sorry
away
for everybody in the
the
chat as
corner
well.
kick. That's sloppy play. To defend it.
Look, I just want to thank everybody for being in the chat and put up with this awful performance. Cheers for Fernie, the friend of the channel, the Leeds fan.
He's the smallest man in the team. I don't know
Welcome
what he's
Janet,
doing
first
underneath.
home loss, says Cole.
But then
Disappointing,
even then,
thanks
there's no
Cabby, says Devon.
communication, because
Welcome
if there was,
Richie. Start the
Patterson
clap,
would
says
have- it would have been an
Jonathan.
easy
Telly
catch.
says shocking.
He's come up.
Pot on
Roberts
Leeds
is
dropping, says David.
Patterson's there. And
Trevor
somehow
Coleman says we don't
it's
seem
gone
to have
through
a
his
clue
hands,
how
or
to break
it's
teams
his
down,
hands and
says
it's gone in the
Trevor.
net.
Darren Diver says
Hull
cheers
City
Cabby,
1-0
you're welcome.
winners here
Off the watch
last
you, Ruby,
season,
says John.
1-0
Geordie
winners here
Groundwater,
again
oh dear, there's
this
always
season.
next season unless the Russian
Sunderland,
invade.
a shadow
Hope
of
everyone
their-
weekends get
themselves
better.
really in so many
Cheers
ways.
Geordie
Handball
Groundwater,
barely
enjoy the rest of your
called upon
Saturday
to
mate,
make
thanks for
any
tuning in.
saves for
Jonathan
Hull
Marks
City.
says Pat on Leeds
87th
dropping,
minute for the
so does
first save
Lebris.
from him in the second
You will
half.
finish 5th. Etienne
47th
says thanks for the
minute
stream
for the
Cabby,
first save
see
from
you
him
next
in the
time.
first half.
Playoffs if we
And
are lucky now.
falling
Thank you
again
Cabby,
to
I'm off
set
to
piece,
bleach
which is
the
what
ball,
led
more
to the
exciting than the
only
match.
goal of the game. It's
Says
not damaging
Russia.
overall in the sense of the
Playoffs if we're lucky, says Telly. Cheers Etienne, we'll see you later. Sounds like my school report should do better, says Trevor. You're welcome Cabby, says Easy. Cheers for tuning in mate. Good luck on Monday. Ian Waller, cheers, appreciate what you do. Cayman did a job, says Hull. Well done to them, we go again. Big up Cabby, I'll catch you later. Cheers Fernie, enjoy the rest of your Saturday mate. Thanks for popping in, I do appreciate your support mate.
one up front.
Christopher Skidmore says,
Wilson
here we go,
Isidore.
Cabby on the slide. Like I
Sometimes
said the
if
other
he's
day,
not getting
just
the
not good
service,
enough.
He's out of the game.
Mr. Normski says, some players
where
know
are
how
we
to
making
win
a
or
threat?
lose.
You know
They are
what
going
Roberts
to
is
get
gonna
big
do?
money moves away.
Cuts inside, they keep
Enjoy
it
your
tight.
weekend, Cabby. You
Teams
too,
which play
Jeff.
against us to keep it
That was
compact.
tragic,
Let the
wasn't it?
ball go
Says
out wide. When the
Telly.
ball comes in the
Victor
box,
says, shocking
we do
performance,
not
Hull
have
deserved the
enough
win.
players in the box. We don't have enough options.
The Hull players are lined up at the edge of the penalty area, and one by one they're running into the box and punching the air for the Hull City fans up above, high above in the north stand. It's Salzate's turn now. He's whipping his hands in the air in the 6-yard box.
That just goes to show you what it means to him.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fantastic win for Hull City. They've come in here, and we've not been able to raise our games. As simple as that.
Disappointing afternoon for Sunderland. Be a reflection through the week because they go to Sheffield Wednesday, who were roundly beaten 4-0 by Burnley last night at Turf Moor.
Well, I've had enough of that. Absolutely. Oh dear me. So when do we play next then? Do I dare say that? Everton 2, Man U 2, 9 minutes added on. That's just awful from Sunderland today, like really, really, really bad. Absolutely shocking. Fixtures. 28th we play next. Friday, I believe. Is it Friday, 8 o'clock kickoff? Oh my God's sake. Let's see what some of the socials have been saying. Thoughts on the second half. Says getting worse at home, monotonous, predictable and slow, says Mike. Dave Cook says we've got what we deserved overall. We were overall very poor today. However, we've lost to a howler from our own keeper, had a Stonewall penalty waved away, and yet still I don't think we deserved anything from it. Need to use this as a template for when we go again. Callum Cowie says, feel like we're going to have a little bad run here, then it stops in the playoffs. Not as our best today. As soon as Hull scored, they knew they had what to do, and we far too slow. Elaine says, it was like watching a train crash you couldn't look away from. Daniel Hodge says, not good enough, simple as that, being absolutely horrendous, can't take chances. Crap and the first, none of them seemed arse. Now the gap's forming from us and the top three. We should have scored 2 goals but not clinical enough. Dear. I honestly do think that the Leeds damage has basically set things in stone, and I think they've realised the playoffs, the top 2's gone, and I think it's affected them massively today. I think it's a kind of still feeling sorry for themselves on Monday. I think that's what it absolutely looks like. Feeling sorry for themselves and they feel down in the dumps. And Job once again was missing. Lefay, I don't know what's up with him. If it's a hamstring, it's the same with Ballard as well. I mean, what chance have you got when you get your players coming back from injury, and at the same time you're getting players coming back from injury, you're getting fresh players dropping with injuries? It's just a never-ending circle. So I'll end the stream for now. Cheers for everybody tuning in, and